What is up, my friends? All the talking is over. The match day has finally arrived. The Reds at St James's Park to take on Newcastle in the first Premier League game of the 2026-27 season. The team news is in, and I'm going to run through it for you momentarily. I hope that you're all in good spirits today. It's exciting times. Brand new season. We really need to be looking at getting Rayan, said PC Drat. Well, we're already just in, mate. Let me just settle in, and then we'll get into the comments about the transfer window and whatnot. But look, we need to get business done. Let's push that aside for now, though, because it is match day, right? We have plenty of time still to talk about transfers and whatnot, but we got to get the team news out, and the team news has just dropped, my friends. So this is the starting 11 that is confirmed, as you can see it there on screen. Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, Jeremy Jacquet comes in alongside your captain, Virgil van Dijk. Midfield, exactly as we expected, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz in the 10. Rio on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Mr. Alexander Isak through the middle. Also, we have Mamardashvili on the bench, Endo, McAllister, Costas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell and Kumas. That is your Liverpool bench today, ladies and gents. We'll take you through the Newcastle team in a moment, but as always, I hope you're well. Actually, do you know what? Let's get straight into the Newcastle team. So it's Hendrick in goal, then it is, I can't read this out, Connor, it's too small. Malik Thiaw, Botman, Lewis Hall, Dordich, I can't read some of these names out. Lewis Miley, Storr, Harvey Barnes, Johan Visa, Anthony Alanga, and William Asula. So not a great Newcastle team, but they are still at home. They do still have the home crowd behind them, and I'm sure they're going to be baying for Isak today. So yeah, Manchester City getting beaten as we speak at the minute, 1-0 by Bournemouth. And last that I checked as well, over in the other game, it was, I think, 4-0 at that point to Brighton. So yeah, big changes for Newcastle. No Anthony Gordon anymore, no Tonali, no Bruno Guimaraes, no Alexander Isak. Yeah, I said it. Right. Tyler said, first super chat of our Premier League season. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you. Also, Wayne, how are you, dude? Said, let's go Reds. Hope everyone's doing well. I tell you what, it's very rarely I've got into a season like this, Will, where I really just don't know what to expect. And that's where I'm at the minute. I'm not really sure what to expect from Liverpool. Although hopefully we get a win today, right? We need to get off to a good start in the Premier League. But it is mad. It's thrown up some crazy results already. I mean, Hull beat Manchester United. Villa getting their backsides handed to them. City getting beaten as we speak as well. So, yeah, hopefully Liverpool can get their part of the bargain done and get a win. There, that's much better. Thank you, Connor. So, I'll give you the Newcastle team a lot better now. Hornchick in goal then. Hall, Botman, Vissa, Asula, Barnes, Thiaw, Storr, Alanga, Dedic and Miley. Lads, that is not a strong Newcastle team. You know, they're not a strong Newcastle team. So, surely we got to get the win today, right? With as strong as we've gone, surely we can get the win up at St James's Park today. Phil, how are you, bro? Liverpool to dismantle Newcastle. I want Adam Wharton to join us also. I wouldn't say no to Wharton, but look, at this point, I just want to park up the transfer talk if we can for the time being, because it's been a long summer where we've spoken about a lot. We've been frustrated, and I've been counting down to this day, and the Reds are finally back in action today. Give me your score predictions in the chat, by the way. We'd love to know them. If you watch the preview, you see I went for a 3-1 win. In our podcast as well, Connor went for a 3-1 win. So we're certainly optimistic on a win today, but don't want to get cocky about it, right? Because that has a habit of biting me on the backside. I think we'll win, but that bench is horrible. I mean, if the Newcastle bench is worse, to be honest with you. Our bench isn't as strong as we'd like it to be, but the Newcastle team and bench ain't strong either. But just to remind you about the Liverpool bench, it's Georgie Mamardashvili, then it's Endo, McAllister, Costas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell and Kumas. So not the strongest of benches, and I'm sure Andoni Iraola will be using his bench today. It'll be interesting to see how the fitness levels are for the Reds today. You know, we'd seen in pre-season some of the guys were burning out after 65, 70 minutes. So let's see how we get on today. Let's see how the fitness levels are. Right, Harry's gone 2-0. We've got a 4-1 from Woody in there as well. A 2-0 from Billy Beckner. 3-1 from Voids. 4-1 with a Gakpo hat-trick from Shankly Says. 3-1 to the Reds for FC Pro Guy. Yeah, look, Again, Cody Gakpo being in the team shows you that he's no imminent move to Spurs at the minute. And that is what I think is delaying some of Liverpool's business. The fact that they haven't got a concrete offer in yet from Spurs for Gakpo. And I think if we did have that and we knew what numbers they were working with, you might see a bit more movement on the incomings. Shivam said, Craig, I'm first in the FPL league. Nice, but let's see. Still more matchday points to go. I'm nowhere near first as usual. I mean, on the opening set of games, I think I was fourth last, but none of my players had played yet, so that was okay. But yeah, I think I was fourth last there at one point. I took a screenshot of it just to show myself how much work I need to do. But then again, it doesn't matter how much effort I put into FPL. I'm a mid-table merchant at best. Isak hat-trick, love that. Yeah, I do hope Isak gets on the score sheet today. I'd love if he had a Ratburger t-shirt on underneath. That would be class, but, you know, I don't think he's that way inclined. I would be, though. I'd be giving it the full Monty. Well, full Monty? I don't know, maybe. Never say never. And obviously there will be a moment before the game as well to honour Mr. Kevin Keegan. Both sides, both sets of fans, both clubs obviously have nothing but love for Kevin, and obviously his passing was terrible news this summer. So it's good to see both clubs come together and honour the great man. Justin said, well, Craig, no Elliott, no Chiesa today, surprisingly, but good because fans may not want to admit it, but they're not good enough. Kumas get his chance. I think it's more a case of the both of them are going to be moved on. That's ideal. Like, this is just, again, another signal from Andoni Iraola to the board to say, these guys are surplus to requirements for me. Find them somewhere to go. That's the way I'd read this. Same again in pre-season. If you looked at even the games against Como, they were kind of relegated to the morning game. And yes, they got some minutes in the later game, but it was a big indication again of where the manager's head's at. Jack Lusby said, Chiesa misses out today with a fitness issue, which saw him sit out training. Harvey Elliott simply not selected. Lewis Kumas preferred. Makes the squad for the first time March 2024. And he said, I'd fully expect Elliott to leave Liverpool. So again, though, where's he going to go? I've not really seen too many links for Harvey Elliott with a move away. And it'd be really interesting to see what type of price Liverpool will get as well. Obviously with him just having that year to go on his deal. Do you think Liverpool should buy another striker if Isak gets injured again? I mean, I'd be a little bit reticent to say yes because it's a 5-month problem. And if we sign a striker, you're doing it for the longer term. So I think a multifaceted forwarder. Look, here's what I expect to happen. I expect that when Barcola comes in, that there will be an occasion where we might see him play through the centre in the same way Dembele has done for PSG. Not because it's, you know, his best position, but because if Gakpo goes, that removes another option for Andoni Iraola to switch somebody into the centre. So Barcola or a false 9, somebody like that might have to be the way until we get Hugo back. You know, there were some short-term deals out there that Liverpool could have done, but they would have been fairly expensive ones. If you're looking at the likes of, let's say, go back a few months, Robert Lewandowski as an example, that would have been a fairly expensive one. So I can understand Liverpool not bringing in a striker, but we do need more forwards. We need more pace in the attack. We do know the window's got, 8-9 days left in it, something like that. So clocks are ticking. Peter said, hey Craig, Rayan looks sharp. Hope he's a red one day. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player, Rayan. That's what I said. I think just the fact that he's only in the door there at Bournemouth half a year probably is what makes him unsellable to them. And of course, his release clause kicks in from January, but even that's at a really high level. I think it's like 130 million, something like that. Do you reckon Isak celebrates if he scores? Said Gamaldo. I hope so. I hope so, because I'll tell you, if I was in his position, I wouldn't be able to stop myself after everything that had happened and everything that he went through. No, I'm not saying that. Well, no, I would. No, fuck it, I would. I'd be up there. I'd be giving it the full eastbound and down, the full Flamma Blanca, like as I said before, giving it all this. But I don't know. Let's see what Isak does if he scores. Hopefully we get to find out, though. You know, that'd be a good start. If he does score, we'll find out one way or the other. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to hold myself back if I was in his shoes. Did you see even when he was arriving, like off the team bus, arriving to the hotel, he was just getting pelters, but, you know, hopefully he uses it as motivation. 65 minutes gone, by the way, at the Etihad, and it's still Manchester City 0, Bournemouth 1, even with Erling Braut Haaland's new shaved head. Whitehammer, how are you, bro? Said, I'm so sick of so many useless players in the squad. As in Gomez, Endo, Elliott, Chiesa, just taking a paycheck. That's it. I'm sick of them all. Well, to be fair, it's not really Elliott's fault. You know, I will push back a little bit on the Elliott and the Endo thing. I mean, they're honouring their contracts. You know, it's not up to them to say, I'm not taking the money, I'm moving on. It's up to the club to sort out deals for them. And, you know, they made a mess of the deal for Harvey Elliott, Whitehammer last year, which cost everybody money and cost Harvey a season. But I get your frustration, mate. Of course I do. And I do think some of them will be moved on by the end of it. But look, the real sticking point for me in the window is what the hell Richard Hughes has been doing. He seems to have been like more Al Hilal business getting done than there is Liverpool business, and it's just incredibly frustrating, isn't it? Leona, how are we, my friend? I hope you're keeping well. So excited for the first game, first proper look at Iraola ball in the Premier League for us, and RIP Kevin Keegan. And yes, certainly echo the sentiments on Kevin Keegan. And yeah, it's going to be... Sorry, there was a chance there for Man City. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully we can get off to a good start. I think we're going to have to start fast, but I think Newcastle will be up for this one as well. Their fans are certainly going to be up for it. And just to get back to Whitehammer's comment as well, like I do understand, mate, where you're coming from about the squad. Ideally, you know, a lot of this stuff should have been done. Players moved on and spots freed up, but it's been a very, very messy summer for us, and just link after link to madness. Like Ismail Assar was linked last night. We covered that in the late video. Now, I still think Galatasaray are very much in the box seat there, but Liverpool's name has been thrown around quite a bit there. As I don't know, I just don't know what to make of it. You know, everybody, like I said, and just to reiterate it in case anybody is concerned, I have no change in my stance on the Barcola situation, nor does anybody I've spoken to about it. He's been left out of the squad for PSG's game today, and all signs do point to something happening, but I don't know after that. You know, time frames and these things are out of our control. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you definitively what Liverpool are looking to do. You know, I know that we looked at Endrick. I know we tried there. Obviously, we know that we've put in 2 bids that have been rejected for Brighton's Yankuba Minta. You know, the Sarr links have been coming around. Dario Osorio links have been going around. So the honest answer is I don't have a clue what Liverpool's preference is. You'd have to suggest with 2 bids having gone in there for Yankuba Minta that, you know, he might be the one that they go with. But again, I am guessing there as I don't know where people's heads are at with it. What's this one from Connor? Yeah, we've done that one already. Cool. Who have I not gone to yet? The Wonder Man. 18 months, got £5 on Isak to score us and to win 2-1. Nice, and thank you for 18 months as a member, my friend. £5 on Isak. Ooh, that'd be an interesting bet if it comes up. I never really go for, if I have a bet, I never go for the scores. I never go for like the match result and like the score prediction. I always find that a little bit too volatile for my liking, but Isak to score and us to win, I'll take that. Kane, how are you, bro? 31 months. We love that, mate. 31 months as a member. Thank you. Hope all is well. Cool. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat and wondering what was being changed there. Sorry for a sec. All good. Newcastle fans are still taking Isak leaving well, said Corbin. It is mad, isn't it? Like, what look, I understand the anger over it in one way, but like, how did Visa join them? Pretty similar situation, right? And it's the same with some other deals in that one. But look, I get it. You know, they feel betrayed and annoyed by Isak, but eventually they're going to have to just let it go. And I hope today that he can start to repay Liverpool's big investment in him. Tiger Valley, it's match day. Excited regardless of what happens this season. I promise to back Iraola and the team through thick and thin. They will never walk alone. I put myself in that category as well. You know, when the season gets underway, when the games are underway, everybody wants us to do well. We're all going to get behind the manager. And, you know, if there are failings on the pitch this year, you know, unless it's extraordinarily on the manager, I think I'm going to be, you know, calling out the owners of the club and the executives of the club rather than anybody out there coaching, because I've said it all summer and I'll say it again. He hasn't been given the tools to do the job in the right way, and it's unfair on him. Whoever gifted some memberships as well, thank you. I seen there was somebody gifted some memberships there. Who was it? JD, thank you, mate, for gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate you, bro. What Liverpool players do you have in your FPL? Do you know what? Let me have a look. Off the top of my head, I think Isak, Szoboszlai, and I can't remember the third one, but just bear with me. I'll have a quick look for you. FPL, right? Who have I got in my FPL? I've got Szoboszlai, Virgil, and Isak in my FPL. I usually only play 2 of them though, but yeah, they're the 3 that I have in. I wanted to put Wirtz in, but in all honesty, I wanted to see how he started the season before putting him in. So yeah, but again, as usual, I wouldn't take my FPL as anything other than bang average because I'm not great, to be honest with it. Even though I do give it a lot of effort, I always end up in mid-table. Alan, thank you, mate, for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you, sir. So, new season, new look here on Anfield Agenda. And as you can see, we've tarted up the scoreboard and the graphics a little bit. And hopefully it makes it a more enjoyable experience for you guys as well. Just a reminder that after the game today, we will be back to our usual of a live match reaction. Now, we're going to do it a little bit differently this season. In the live match reaction, the first 8 to 10 minutes, I'm not going to interact. It's just going to be me talking about how I feel about the game, what I thought about it, and then we'll come into the chat. So you guys can have your say after that. So just in case you're wondering why I'm ignoring super chats or anything like that when we start the match reaction, that's why. I just want to do that little segment because I made that promise to people during the summer. Some people just want to come in, get all the information and, you know, not stick around because they've busy lives, and totally get that. So hence the reason I'm just going to be doing that. And then, of course, we'll have our player ratings video today as well. And we'll have another transfer news video later on tonight as well. Right. Whew, deep breath, ready to go. The nerves are starting to kick in a little bit now. You know, it's a little bit of the great unknown here with Andoni Iraola and the Reds. Connor said, hey Craig, sorry we've said it before, but could you call out the bench? Of course I can, my man, no problem. He's a big fan since 2018. Mate, I got to correct you. I keep saying this to people. You're not fans, you're mates. We don't do fans. I'm not worth being a fan of. I'm a normal dude. So you're a mate. And it's great to have, well, heading towards 400,000 mates now. So if you want to join our collective of hooligans or misfits or whatever you want to call us, do hit that subscribe button. And of course, new season, same goal before kickoff. If you can, hit that like button for me and let's get us up to 1,000 likes way before kickoff. Anyway, as I promised Connor, let's go through the bench. Georgie Mamardashvili is on the bench. Then we've got Endo, McAllister, Costas, Victor Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell and Kumas. So no Chiesa, no Elliott on the bench. Chiesa apparently has a fitness issue. Elliott just not selected. And of course, Curtis Jones joined Inter Milan this week. And again, want to reiterate, wishing Curtis the very best on his move. I'm excited, folks. I'm really excited. I think, look, I'm feeling confident today, but I don't want it to get into the realms of arrogance because, you know, it's the first game of the season and anything can happen. Still 73, almost 74 minutes on the clock at the Etihad and still Bournemouth leading by that 0-0. Megan, how are you, Megan? So I think Gakpo should not be sold. We've seen players fail to get up to speed, so please keep some continuity. I don't disagree, Megan. You know, I've no desire to see Gakpo moved on, but I just think, I don't think it's the club pushing him out. I think it's probably a case of a few things. Rio coming through, obviously, Barcola links and stuff like that, and Cody probably just thinking now is the time to maybe move on. And I'm sure he's got an attractive offer from Spurs. And also, we've got to think about it financially for Liverpool. If we went and moved Barcola in, as an example, we'd have probably spent £210 million with bringing in 30 million for Jones. So about £180 million net, which is another big outlay. So I think Liverpool want to probably offset some of that, or at least that's my guess on it. But it is a guess, Megan. But I totally get where you're coming from. I wouldn't be wishing him away either. Like I've said, maybe last season wasn't the most exciting of seasons for him, but he's a pretty steady forward. He's a pretty good tactician. And I wouldn't be rushing him away. But if he does have his mind made up, maybe he fancies a move over to Spurs and work with De Zerbi. I'll tell you what I did think though, Megan. If ever Spurs are going to come and knocking, it's going to be now, right? Because they were shit yesterday. They really were, and I expected better of them. So I think maybe that result yesterday will get Spurs to light a fire under the executives and get their offers going in, try and get Marmoush tied up and then move in for Gakpo. Alan, how are you? Said renewed today after a while away with work. Glad the new season's upon us. Well, I hope work went well for you, Alan, wherever you were. I hope it's going well for you, my man, and thank you. It's great to have you back, and thank you for staying with us and becoming a member. John Erdinger, always a pleasure, John, said, kind of nervous about what will happen. At least I take joy in United taking it on the chin. I really, really have to say that shocked me yesterday, John. I don't expect United to be, the best team in Europe or anything this season, but I did expect them to look better than they did against that Hull side yesterday, who, quite frankly, ran all over them. United just couldn't keep with them, and yes, United had like 20-something shots, but not many of them troubling the keeper too much. It wasn't a great performance from them at all. So, a chance for us to lay down their marker today and hopefully go out there and put in a good performance. Kevin, how are you, Kevin? Said, Newcastle fan here. Oh, should I be worried, Kevin? Should I be worried? I really appreciate and respect how honest you are. Thank you. Can't wish you good luck today, but I do like Liverpool. Thank you, Kevin. And I've said this many times as well, mate. I have nothing but fondness for Newcastle fans. I say it over and over again. I know we had a bit of banter last year, and I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed every minute of it. But I always have a soft spot for the Geordies, mate, because you're good people and you love your football club, and I get it. So yeah, same to you. I would wish you good luck, but neither of us would mean it, would we, mate? But thank you for dropping in, bro. Appreciate your kind words as well, and I hope you had a lovely summer. Well, I say that. I mean, I'm moaning about our transfer business, dude. Your transfer business, Kevin, it's been shocking. I won't lie, mate. I can totally get Newcastle fans' frustration with that. And look, I was talking about this in a grander scheme, Kevin. I do wonder if the Saudis are getting a little bit bored with their investments in sport, because of course the Live Golf thing went away. They're not really pushing the Newcastle project forward. I think they pulled out of the WTA end of season event as well. I think there's been some issues around the snooker and darts and whatnot. I'm wondering, are they starting to get bored or wind up this whole destination for sport thing? Feels it. And I've always warned about this. It's the thing I didn't want about any investment or sovereign investment fund at Liverpool or anything is I've seen it with Russians and oligarchs and others who've come in and bought football clubs, had great things, got bored and left, and the clubs end up in a mess. And I wouldn't wish it on Newcastle or any Premier League club. So I am intrigued by how that works out. Looking forward to seeing Munoz play electric, said Gamaldo. Thank you, bro. Well, he'd have to come off the bench first. But yeah, it's a good option for us, especially if Newcastle have tiring defensive legs. He could, again, cause problems. So another chance there, actually, for Bournemouth. Forces a save from Gianluigi Donnarumma. So it's still 1-0 there to Bournemouth with about 11 and a half minutes plus stoppage time to go. Leona, I really hope we get more signings. I'm calm about Barcola, but realistically, we need a right back, a 6, and I would love another winger with Barcola. I mean, I'm relaxed about it, but I'm also nervous about it, right? So nothing has changed in regards to what we're hearing, the vibe around it. But you want to be made of stone, not to be somewhat nervous, because, the clock is ticking. We do have a lot to do. The whole window basically hinges on us getting this deal over the line. So, to say I'm not nervous to any extent would be just lies. But, I'm not nervous that anything has changed in it. We just got to get our finger out. Dan said, Craig, who will have a better season, Isak or Wirtz? I'm going to say Isak, but I guess it's tough to measure, because with Isak you can measure it in goals pretty much, but with Wirtz it could be moments, it could be assists, could be goals. I'm going to say Isak though, because Isak's going to have a chance. No Hugo Ekitike there, so he's got a free run at this now for a while without any real pressure on him from Hugo breathing down his neck. And I hope that he steps up, because what we can't have is him struggling with fitness or anything like that. That would really put us into trouble. Right, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you can hit that like button for me, we've got plenty of time till the game gets underway, about 49 minutes or so. So if you can hit that like button. Another corner here to Bournemouth in this one, and we'll keep an eye on that one in the background for you. Hoping Rio takes this opportunity to show he's ready for a more permanent step up into the starting 11, said Procrastinator. Yeah, look, Don't put too much pressure. I'm not having a pop at you here, bro, by the way. But look, as fans, we need to remember he is still 17. So I'm not expecting Rio to look like the finished product anytime soon. There are going to be things that frustrate us maybe, or things that he over-eggs, but he'll get used to it. And, as he gets more first team minutes, and, he'll get better. Loads of time on his side. And that's why, I'm always cautious about kids coming into the first 11, because I don't want them to have the expectation in the same way we'd have it on Isak or on Wirtz, because, they're at different points in their careers, and I want Rio to be managed properly. I don't want him burnt out at the age of 25. I love the stealth top, Craig. Got the new shirt, but the third kit is grey to match the home style. I'm still waiting for the third shirt to be released to get a proper look at it. I've seen the images and stuff of it. I didn't buy any of the new jerseys this season, but I did buy loads of the retro stuff like this, the green and white version of it, a top and a few other bits and pieces. But I bought them a size smaller than I normally wear, so I can continue in the old weight loss. So, yeah, I haven't really liked the shirts this year. I've got to be honest. I haven't really been overawed with either of them. The home one I was looking at in the shop the other day looks okay. The away one, I don't really wear white too much, to be honest. So, yeah, I just love the Adidas partnership back at the club, though. It's always great to see, and it just feels right, Liverpool being with Adidas. Newcastle fans are about to say Judas on Isak, probably, but just football banter, Um, you've got to remember, he did bring their club in 125, 130 million quid as well. So, but I can understand it. Like I said at the time, and I've mentioned it a few times about Newcastle over the last 12 months, it feels like whatever vision was sold to the players when they went in there, the Sandro Tonali's, the Isaks, the Guimaraes, whatever the vision was, it doesn't seem like it's been fulfilled to the extent that perhaps they thought when they were joining the club, and that's why so many of them eventually looked for a move away. But, I'm talking about this from the outside. I don't know how to feel about the home kit, to be fair. The white Doritos put me off. Honestly, I don't mind the little flex on it, because that just reminds me back of the kits in the 90s and whatnot. So I don't mind that, the late 80s, early 90s. I don't think they pulled it off as well as they could have. It just feels, I don't know, there's something wrong about it. When I was looking at it in the shop, it just didn't feel right. Something felt a little bit off about it, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Dude, what's up? Said Craig, you look great. Thank you, bro. Very kind of you indeed. Sorry, I'm just keeping one eye on this Manchester City game, because still 1-0 to Bournemouth here. City have a corner, but we're 83 and a half minutes on the clock. My first comment in a live, I've been lurking in the shadows. Good day, lads. Well, that's all right, mate. Welcome in. Totally get it. I'd be somebody who probably wouldn't comment on stuff too much either when I'm watching it. But thank you for being in. Appreciate you. I love the home and away shirts. Not sure about the third. Yeah, look, the away shirt is nice. It's just, for me, I don't really, white doesn't suit me too much. 1-1, City have just equalised. 1-1, Mark A header equalises for City. And it was just so poorly defended by Bournemouth. Yeah, it really wasn't well defended at all. That's been a problem of theirs when Iraola was there, and it carries on into the Marco Rosa era. So what if they got 5 minutes or so plus stoppage time to find a winner? Let's have a look at this corner again. Oh my God. How? Oh, lads, if that was Liverpool, I'd be losing my mind. He's 5 yards with nobody near him between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. How do you not pick up probably their strongest header of the ball? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That is terrible defended from Bournemouth. Ollie, gamer, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. What's your favourite movie? I don't know, mate. I kind of, depends what mood I'm in. So, like, I love some of the old school Goodfellas and stuff like that. A Bronx Tale would be another one of my favourites. If I want something cheesy, I love a bit of Jerry Maguire. If I want something super cheesy and corny, Don't Be a Menace to South Central. We're drinking your juice in the hood. Yeah, I mean, I've got weird tastes, to be honest with you. Blazing Saddles, I love that. I love a bit of slapstick comedy like that. Yeah, it depends what mood I'm in, I think. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Mallrats. Yeah, I'm quite eclectic when it comes to my movie taste, but these days I'm probably just looking at documentaries more than anything if I have a little bit of time to watch something. Right, let's keep going. What's this in Keynote? 1 second. So Rio Ingamo is only the second 17-year-old ever to start on match day 1 of a league season opener for Liverpool, with Michael Owen against Wimbledon in 97-98. The other one. Hurry up and buy. Exactly, Ivan Cruz. Exactly. Do we have a problem? I love that. Kids, what do you say when you meet a nice man? Are you my daddy? I love it. Carlito's Way, another belter of a movie. Yeah, absolute belter. That's my era, like, right there. But A Bronx Tale, I think it was Robert De Niro's directorial debut as well. That's just one of them films that struck a chord with me when I was growing up watching it. And every time I see it on TV, if I'm flicking through, I can't help but watch it again. What's my favourite chocolate bar / biscuit? God, chocolate bar, Star Bar. I love a Star Bar. Absolutely love them. My favourite biscuit. Probably a chocolate hobnob. Probably a chocolate hobnob. Depends what mood I'm in. Anything Odie. I like Odie type biscuits. So yeah, anything like that. A ginger nut. I did marry one as well. So. I didn't hear I'm gonna get you, sucker. Do you ever see the suds roll down? Do you ever be in the showers and you see the suds roll down the crack of a man's ass? And no. Sorry, people watching here going, why is he talking about the suds rolling down the crack of a man's ass? But yeah, that's just another one of those lines from the movies. And also Friday. Can't talk about great movies like that without talking about Friday as well. You got knocked the fuck out. Chocolate hobnob, hard to beat. It's just legendary, isn't it? You know, it's good. They're not what they once were though. They used to be like the SAS, as Peter Kay used to say, of biscuits. You just dunked them and they again. But these days, yeah, they're just not what they once were. I love to see the Star Bar make a comeback. Comeback? It's never gone away. Dude, this is my favourite chocky bar. I eat at least one of them a week. And they've never gone away. I've always been able to get Star Bars. I love them. And then, do you know what annoys me though? My wife often came back and goes, there's no Star Bars. Here's a boost. They're the same. I was like, fuck you, they're not the same. I mean, hello? Where's the peanut butter? Right, so we're into the 89th minute here and it's still 1-1 at the Etihad. Craig, I know it's your fault, but I hate the ads. Seem to be longer during watchalongs. I don't know what to say, mate. I know you're not moaning at me about it, but there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Yeah. Like I've always said, there is trade-offs in this stuff, you know, when you aren't behind paywalls and stuff like that. You know, you got to make sure that the bills get paid. So, I don't know what else to say, my man. I wish that they weren't there. I wish that they weren't needed, but, you know, it kind of is what it is. The new white chocolate hobnobs are good, Craig. I don't know. I don't know about white chocolate. I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate. Yeah, not a fan of white chocolate too much. Although I don't mind it in small doses, but I'd never go and buy a white chocolate bar at them. Jaffa cakes are my favourite biscuits. Somebody block him, will you? Just block him and me. Jaffa cakes, lads. Don't get me started on Jaffa cakes. Jaffa cakes are the broccoli of the biscuit world. You know, what are they? Are they a biscuit? Are they a cake? Are they stale? Is it for breaking a window? I don't know what they are, but I do know one thing. Every time I see them, I cringe. I don't like Jaffa cakes. I don't like them one bit. As I said, I've got issues with broccoli and I've got issues with Jaffa cakes. They're just wrong on every level. Iraola should do what he did Bournemouth players at Liverpool. Jaffa cakes are brilliant. No. They're evil. They're evil, lads. Jaffa cakes are not brilliant. Oh, hang on. Oh, City have the ball in the net, but the offside flag goes up against Gvardiol. Let's see if it stands or not. Gvardiol thought he'd made it 2, but let's have a look. What? Oh. Lads, he might be on. This is going to be close. He might be on, you know. I think he's onside here. Personally, I think he's on. I thought this was supposed to be quicker, by the way. Yeah, it's going to be a goal. Goal, 2-1 City. City win it right at the death, 2-1. He looked onside to me, but it was close. So City turn it around late and win 2-1. They don't look convincing, though. They just don't look a great side, this City team at the minute. Wish Hugo could have dropped a hat-trick today in them, said Jaden. I'll take Isak doing it, though, bro. It's the left foot of the centre-back that plays him on. Red Rose said, I don't want to see Rio playing every game. I worry about injuries with him still growing. It could derail his career as it did with Bajcetic. Well, that's why we're looking to bring in, other wide forwards as well to take some of the load off. But I agree. I don't want to see him playing every game either at this age. But yeah, you can see there the offside. It was close, but he was onside. Craig, if we win the league, will you show us a picture of you with hair? I've showed you a picture of me with hair loads of times, mate. I've showed you. I don't like showing it too much because I don't want to get the ladies at home too excited, But I'll show you once more, just so you can see what once upon a time a great man looked like with a bit of hair. One sec. Let me just find you a picture. Ladies, are you ready? Might want to get a few roll the kitchen roll, put it on the floor, just get ready, just to make sure. Let me just find this damn picture now. It's bad when you have to look. There you go. Do you know what I mean? Tell me, look, there he is. A younger Craig with hair. Do you know what I mean? You're welcome. You're welcome, world. There you go. Look, I would. That's all I'm saying, lads. I would. So yeah, once upon a time I did have hair, and I've said this to you as many times. I still do have hair. My wife makes me shave my head. This is funny. I have this conversation every season. Like, people come in and call me bald. I laugh, say I'm not bald. It's by choice. But if I tell you straight out, if I was bald and I was really bald and it was bugging me, I'd go get a hair transplant. But I'm not bald. This is just this is the way the missus likes me, aerodynamic and ready to go. Mark, how are we, bro? I'm calling Scumchester Shitty Stadium the empty head from now on. Okay. So I was playing a game earlier on, Mark, where I was looking at all the Manchester City sponsors around the edge of the pitch and seeing how many of them I've ever heard of. And I think it was 2 from about 6 or 7. They even have Manchester City club branded living accommodation over in Abu Dhabi that they're selling as well. So yeah. I come in late and the first thing I see is Craig with hair. Yeah, I could grow it back. I don't like it. I feel dirty with hair. Oh, do you know what I wish though? I do wish I could grow a beard. I've always said that. I wish I could grow a beard, but I can't. If I could grow a beard, I'd have a shaved head and a beard, but I can't grow a beard. So, do you know what I mean? That's embarrassing to say, by the way. 44 and can't grow a beard. Crazy that Man City paid 100 million for Bawadi after just a few games in the World Cup. Their squad, like, even looking at their squad before the game, it doesn't strike fear in me looking at that City squad. I don't think they're going to be anything close to what they were under Pep Guardiola. Personally, I know it's early days and that, but I think the era of dominance or whatever is going to fade away now. I did read something earlier on, actually. I want to read this out to you. 1 second. If this isn't the most blatant bollocks you've ever heard, let me read this out from, I think it's the Business Post or somewhere. It said, UAE officials, you ready for this now? This is as blatant as you're going to get. UAE officials caution that a negative outcome concerning Manchester City's 115 charges could damage improved relations with the UK, according to two people familiar with the case. I mean, that is just as blatant as you want to get it. You know, oh, if we get found guilty, you know, and you follow the rules and find us guilty, then that might damage the relations between our two countries. You know, fuck right off. Do you know what I mean? You either did it or you didn't. You can't start throwing your weight around and leaning on people to try and say, oh, well, we can't be found guilty because that will damage the relationship between the two. This is what I'm saying. It's also grubby, and I'm fed up of it. I'm fed up of political interference and nonsense in football. It's football. Play by the fucking rules or do one. Rules apply. It's simple as that. Like, rules are there for a reason. They have to be respected. Or what's the point? Hey Craig, it's great awaiting the match from you, especially your emotions. 4-1 to Liverpool. Thank you, bro. I don't know what to expect, but I know I'm excited for the new season. Who are you never embarrassing, beard or no beard? Your mother. She loves me beardless or with a beard. So that's who I'm never embarrassing, because your mother always takes it as a real positive when we can go out in public together and she can finally be seen with somebody who doesn't embarrass her. Not saying that's you, mate. I'll let other people figure that one out. But like I said, I don't be embarrassing anybody. So, you know, well, embarrassing the competition, actually. That's probably a fair one, you know. That's probably fair. You know, embarrassing the people that are trying to, you know, keep up with all Anfield Agenda here. That's all right. Britain's biggest scandal is worth a watch on YouTube. Oh, I've watched it multiple times, mate. It's I think it's called Football's Biggest Scandal, or British Football's Biggest Scandal, or something like that. Yeah. Villa in trouble this season. What did their scoreline end up? It was 4-0 the last I'd seen the Villa score. What was it in the end? Am I into watches? I am, yeah. I've got a nice Code 41 watch that I got a couple of years ago. That's my pride and joy. I'd love to buy a Tag Heuer or something someday. That's my dream. Like, that would be my gift to me if the channel ever really made it onto the next level, you know? I'd love to treat myself to a Breitling or a Tag Heuer or something like that. 4-0 did finish. And they had a man sent off as well, right? Gomes, if I'm not mistaken, was sent off. Yeah, Villa could be in trouble, you know, and I think Unai Emery's a great coach, obviously. I just think it's the financials again. Villa just look like they're going to sell Ollie Watkins as well. I think there was talk of a 55 million euro deal, something like that, being done to take him over to Saudi, or close to being done. What's the documentary about? Which theme? Manchester City. It's about Manchester City and the charges and all the shenanigans. It's free on YouTube if you want to give it a watch. Just search Britain's biggest football scandal, something like that. That meme guy said, I hope Verts is stronger and stop with the sloppy passing like we saw in pre-season, because it could leak goals when turning over possession. Time for both Isak and Verts to step up. It is. Absolutely, they have to step up. Robbo looked awful yesterday, and I'm glad Team McConnell and Leone in the team. I don't know. I didn't watch Spurs yesterday. I seen a few bits and pieces from it, but yeah, it's just, I would have preferred to keep Robbo over Costas personally, but again, who doesn't love Robbo? I'm never going to say a negative word about Robbo. I couldn't. The man's just a class act. Michael, I love everything you bring to the channel, Craig. Thank you for your presence today. You're the best out there for Liverpool. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. I just try to have a laugh, I have a simple rule. Be respectful. I'll be respectful. Don't be respectful. I won't be. It's pretty straightforward, but it seems to work for me anyway. Look, I'm excited and I'm nervous. Excited because it's a brand new season, and every new season you're starting from scratch again, and you go into it with hopes and dreams and expectations, but I just need us to see how we look today. It was hard to get a proper read in pre-season because it was all very disjointed, with players joining in at different parts of it, fitness levels being up and down depending on when players were back. So now hopefully we look sharp today, and we can get a result. Why are we signing injured players? Well, we haven't, but I know it should. I mean, the only thing I can think about, right? And again, it's me just giving an opinion here. So if I was a manager, and I can only put myself in Iraola's shoes, if I was a manager and I wanted a particular guy, so let's say in this case it's Yankuba Minta. If I wanted him more than I wanted somebody else, I have to say the 8 weeks thing wouldn't bother me, because it is 8 weeks of 5 years. So it's not ideal, but ultimately it wouldn't stop me if I was a coach and this person was the person I wanted. Now, I can't speak to why he wants him, how much he wants him versus Mbaye, or, I know they wanted Endrick, I know they wanted Diamande. So I can't speak to the thought process, but I wouldn't let the 8 weeks injury thing being a deal breaker. I wouldn't. But I would use it obviously from a negotiating standpoint to try and knock the price down a bit. But after that, I don't mind it as much. I just want a manager to get in whoever he wants. And, if you need to wait 8 weeks for somebody and he's the right guy, so be it. But after that, your guess is as good as mine, mate. As Connor said, 3 weeks of an international break in those 8 weeks as well, which is true because, of course, now we've got the combined September-October international break. So, yeah, we do have that longer break, which again is 3 weeks of rehab for him. So, less games missed in it. So we'll wait and see what happens. But again, let's just hope we get our business done. Right, folks, we have 26 minutes to kick off, and we are closing in on 1,000 likes. So if you can, please do hit that like button. Craig, where's Connor and the rest of the lads watching the match? Imagine at home. Connor's certainly in his home anyway. I'm not sure where Lewis is, if he's working or not today. I'm not sure what he's doing, but yeah. It's not 8 weeks to win, it's 8 weeks and he's got to get fit. Well, it is 8 weeks, Declan, because he had a pre-season, mate. He did have a pre-season, so he won't need to have as big of an outlay. So it will be pretty much 8 weeks, maybe 9, let's say. But he did have, he played right up until, I think it was the early in August when he picked up the injury. So he did have fitness levels on a pre-season. Now, yes, he has to get back. But again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just trying to give you my opinion on it to say if I was the manager and I wanted a player and I thought this player was the perfect fit, I wouldn't mind waiting a bit. That's all I'm saying to you. I want Liverpool to go out there and get the best we can in each position, but I can't force them to do that. And there's no point in me sitting here and calling everybody idiots about it. I'll save that for Richard Hughes and FSG. Craig, do you see Arsenal on the move of Martinelli? Do you think there's any chance of a hijack? I mean, I must have answered that question 50 times in the last month. I don't believe so, but let's wait and see. Nothing's changed for me about Barcola. I think we get Barcola. I think we figure it out this week, and I think he becomes a Liverpool player. The player wants Liverpool. He's already sorted out where he's going to be living in Liverpool. I can't say much more. It is what it is. It's not great that it's dragged on, but personally, and I can only speak for me, I don't have any concerns about a hijack or the deal falling apart or anything like that. I think it gets done. I think everybody's working in that direction. I think the player wants to come to us, But again, this isn't a fact. This is just people I'm speaking to. They were musing, if you want to call it that word, to say, are we waiting for the concrete offer from Spurs to see where we are with Cody Gakpo? Because we know Spurs are interested. That's been talked about quite a bit. But as of yet, that I'm aware of, no concrete offer or number has been put down to Liverpool for Gakpo. So that seems to be why Liverpool are waiting to see what that lands them in budgetary. So that's all I can say and tell you what I'm hearing. But no concerns for me about it being hijacked or that. No. Craig, would you say Barcola gets done this week? Me personally, I think it does, but the window's been a joke. Well, it has to get done soon, right? There's only, 8-9 days? 1st of September, 11 p.m, the window shuts. So, we're running out of will it get done by. Now it just has to get done by the window closing, and certainly hope things pick up the early part of this week. Spurs are going to close the Marmouche deal, it seems, with Man City as well. What are your thoughts on Xhaka so far? I mean, we've only had 45 minutes, but he looked really promising. Got himself a goal. Didn't look out of place at all. But yeah, we've only had that 45 minutes, so difficult to really say with any level of certainty. But he looked composed. And what I liked about Xhaka in that pre-season game was his commanding of the back line. And he was, directing people ahead of him where he wanted them to move into to make sure that the passing channels were open. I thought he looked very composed and very masterful, if that's the word, for somebody quite young in that position. McAllister on the subs bench today. He is, mate, yes. So just let me read through the subs bench for you again, just in case you haven't seen it yet. 1 second. Where did I put it? This one, yeah. So the Liverpool subs bench is Georgie Mamadashvili, Endo, Maka, Costas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell, and Kumas. The Newcastle 11 is Hornacek, Hall, Botman, Visa, Osula, Barnes, Tio, Store, Alanga, Dedic, and Miley. That is the Newcastle 11. Liverpool starting 11, obviously. Alisson Becker in goal. Frimpong at right back. Milos Kerkez at left back. Centre back pairing today. Jeremy Xhaka and your captain, Virgil van Dijk. Midfield, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai with Wirtz in the 10. Rio on the right. Gakpo on the left. And Mr. Alexander Isak through the middle. I'm wearing the new white jersey with Dom on the back, and it's long sleeve. I love it. It's my favourite of the Adidas kits. Nice. It looked nice. It does look nice, the white one. But as I said, I'm not really a fan of white tops in general. Probably because I'm a messy eater and I just destroy them. Where's Chiesa? So the official line is that Federico Chiesa misses out with a fitness issue. Elliott's just not in the squad, but the line on Chiesa is it's a fitness issue. Tia's pronounced Chow, by the way. Never knew how to pronounce it. Yeah, I've heard people pronounce it, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure it is pronounced differently, Connor, but you know me at this point, mate. It's just him. I'm too old. I'm too cranky. I'm not changing anything these days, mate. I'm used to butchering pronunciations. But it is weird, yeah, like Thiaw, Chow. I don't know. We'll just call him Malik, and we'll leave it at that. Woo! You're not alone with the messy eating. So I'm somebody that don't even talk to me when I'm eating. I see people having conversations when they're eating. And I'm like, what? What house did you grow up in? Head down like a pig in a trough, and I'll talk to you when I come up for air after eating. It's the way I look at food, obviously. Rachel said, I just took my seat at the stadium up on the gods. You got in the steps in though, Rachel? Getting the steps in. I always do look at the away section, St. James's Park, and think, my God, I'm scared of heights, right? So I don't know if I'd be able to sit up there. But you're getting the steps in, as we said. I think Elliott is gone, isn't even in the matchday squad. I think he's gone as well, Daz, but honestly don't know who to or how much for. I've not seen too many links for him, but yeah, it definitely does look like Liverpool are going to sort out something for him before the end of the window. Why Rio was right wing? That's where he's played in the last few preseason games, to be honest. I think Liverpool are just trying to get everybody comfortable on both sides. I mean, Iraola's spoken a little bit about wanting the wingers to be able to play off both sides. So I think maybe until the whole situation with Barcola is sorted and we get some type of a pecking order, Rio's trying on the right. Doesn't mean they might not switch up on occasion. Maybe, let's say, if Munoz comes on, maybe Munoz then shifts to the right, Rio shifts across to the left. But that's where we're at for now. Craig, the worst is when you order food with other people and they want to share and have some of what you ordered. Yeah, they can go fuck themselves, James. That's what happens there, mate. You want to get it. You're not getting any of mine. I'm definitely that person, James, that, if the fork comes across, bang, stabbed with the fork, get your hand away. Not happening. If you want one, I'll order you one, no problem. Knock yourself out. Do you know what? This is so sad and so pathetic, James, but you know the way sometimes you have these useless memories from when you were a kid. So I remember once upon a time, one of my mum's friends was late home from work, so her daughter came back to our house for dinner after school. So I think we must have been 10 maybe at this point. So my mum made spaghetti bolognese and we were having our spaghetti bolognese, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I always leave the best part of my dinner till the end. I save it. So I had my favourite part ready for the end. And then just as I was getting ready for it, my friend decided that she didn't want to finish her food and put it onto my plate. Oh, lads, still traumatised about it to this day. The best bit, wrecked because somebody else put their food on my plate. I mean, that was the end of it for me. I'm so weird, like, if you get a sausage or something and you get a bit of grizzle in it, I won't eat a sausage for 6 months then. That's me done. Like, I am so anal when it comes to food. It's ridiculous. Do you growl if someone tries to take your food? No, I just pick it up and walk out of the room. They know better. They know better than to try it. Brian, thank you, Brian. Just seen Brian gifted 50 memberships. Absolute legend. Thank you, Brian. Owen said, I enjoy the break from football over the summer. So excited to be back, but time for 11 millionaires to make or break my day. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a really long summer, dude. Definitely. It feels like a really, really long summer. Yeah. I'm just excited for it to be back. But yeah, it just feels like it's been forever since we've last seen the Reds in proper competitive action. We've a Newcastle fan in the chat. How are we? Been a season ticket holder for 37 years. Haven't renewed because of poor health. Well, I sorry to hear about your health, my friend, and I hope you feel better soon. Not knowing your circumstances, of course. I don't know if it is possible, but I certainly hope you're well. Just here to see what Liverpool fans think of Newcastle. Best fans to come to Newcastle, Liverpool fans. I think, look, apart from last summer when I got a bit salty, I've nothing but respect for Geordies. I say it every single year. They're some of my favourite supporters in the Premier League. And yeah, so no issues for me with Geordies. I think they're good people. Sharing is good. Yeah, but it has to be preordained, right? If you want to share something, if we say, like, let's split a pizza or let's split a portion of wings, fair enough. But if my food shows up and you all of a sudden like the look of it, well, that's tough shit. You know what you're getting next time then, don't you? That's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, if it's preordained sharing, no problem. But if you just like the look of it, tough, you're done. Not my problem. Order yourself a portion of it or go away. Thanks for not giving me a membership. You do understand they're allocated completely, in an ad hoc basis. Like, we don't go through and go, he can have one, he can have one. Brian says 50 memberships, puts them in, they're allocated randomly to people. Nobody chooses who gets the memberships. It's just done randomly. Mike, how are we? Oh, and the Reds go marching in. Oh, when the Reds go marching in. So as you can see, we've got the Premier League trophy in the corner today. I thought I'd switch it up for the first game of the season since we are back to the Premier League. So no Champions League trophy, we've gone for the Prem trophy today. Jeremiah said, best time to face Newcastle with their squad is right now. I'm hoping that's the case, Jeremiah, but I don't really want to say it out loud because, it might bite me in the ass. So I'll be a liar, though, if I said I'm not thinking maybe this is the right time to play them. Because St. James's Park is always a tough game in the Premier League. So maybe we are getting up at the right time. But I have to say maybe because, the game isn't over yet. Liz, how are we, my friend? Strokes suck as love you good people. And certainly they do, Liz. And hope all is okay with you, Ian, and the family, Liz. You've got our George over in Florida at the minute, Liz. George is over there on a vacation with his mum. Put the Champions League behind Elmo. Might do. We can do with that, certainly. Like, it is a possibility, but, it has to go behind Elmo. Isn't that right, Elmo? See? He's happy. He's loving life. He said 4-0, but I don't know. I'm not taking Elmo's word as gospel. Can you go through the Liverpool bench, please? Yes, certainly. 2 seconds, my man. So, on the bench today for the Reds, Georgie Mamadashvili, Wataru Endo, Alexis McAllister, Kostas Tsimikas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell, Kumas. So, Mamadashvili, Endo, McAllister, Kostas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell, Kumas. No Chiesa, no Elliott on the bench. So I think we're on this mad unbeaten streak as well. It's like 14 years, something like that, where we haven't lost match day 1. And of course, both clubs coming together now to honour Kevin Keegan after his tragic passing. I think both sets of fan bases obviously have nothing but love and affection for Kevin Keegan. Craig, could you please move your mic? Your mouse and hand movements are loud. No, I can't, Paul. Sorry. I have to do what's comfortable for me, mate, and where everything is now is comfortable for me, and I'm not moving the microphone or anything like that, and I can't help that the mouse has to be clicked and the buttons have to be pressed. So, unfortunately, man, on this one, I can't do anything for you. I do get it, by the way, because I'm somebody who's very sensitive to sound myself, but I can't help that the mic picks up me clicking the mouse. It has to be done or I wouldn't be able to operate the stream. Craig, I'd do so much for an Isak hat-trick today. I'm intrigued. What do you mean, so much, Lindsay? Give me 100 quid even? Jokes. Look, I just want to see him score and hopefully... Look, if I was him, I'd be giving it the full Flammo blanket in the corner, suck on these, giving it all that. I don't care. I'd pay the fine, wouldn't care. I'd be giving it to them. But I don't know how Isak will celebrate if he scores. Ideally, who would you want for the right wing position, Mbaye or Minta? Do you think they'll be good enough? Ideally, Jamie, neither. And look, I'll understand the manager's thought process. I understand why we're going for them, but we're talking about ideally, right? And ideally, I'd want somebody like Michael Elise or Rayan, ideally. Of the two you've mentioned, I don't know is the honest answer because I don't know enough about Ibrahim Mbaye to give a valid opinion. And Minta, I can see the upside of, but I can also see that he hasn't been there yet. He hasn't got to where we wanted to be yet. But he's still, 22? So lots of potential there as well. I think the safer bet would probably be Minta. But I think the one that may work better and have a more of an upside may be Mbaye. So, yeah, it's a case of... And also with going for Minta, he's used to the Premier League. So there's probably I'd lean to that. But again, I think the higher upside is probably with Mbaye. And I think with him, you're getting somebody who in 3-4 years' time probably be worth double what you paid, minimum. But again, Let's just wait and see how it goes. Andoni Iraola on the reception from Newcastle fans to Isak. I'm not worried about this. You like to play these types of games? Absolutely. If I was in Isak's shoes, I'd be absolutely up for it. 100%. I'd be ready to go in this one to prove a point. Yeah, I'm definitely somebody who gets inspired by anger when I'm playing sport. And I mean, I can harness it in the right way. Don't go out there and lose your head. But if I'm Isak, I'd certainly be motivated for today. Put it that way. Yeah, 100%. Don't feel like our starting lineup is very scary. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good, honestly. If you look at like City's starting lineup today, that didn't look great to me at all. I think our lineup's okay. I'm not saying it's complete. There's still ways we can improve it, but I think it's a good lineup. Right, ladies and gents, let's just finish this poll where we said prediction for the game today. A win by 2+ goals, a win by 1 goal, a draw or a loss, and 61% of the people that voted said a win by 2 or more goals. I love it. I love the optimism. Thoughts on Trent speaking on Liverpool? I don't really have any. That's the honest answer. I don't want to get into the whole Trent thing again. He's gone. He made his bed. Yeah, leave him be. That's the kindest I can be about it. I don't want to be negative about stuff on a match day. So Liz said, how did United do today? It was yesterday, but they lost 2-0. Yeah, 2-0 in the early kickoff on the Saturday. And of course, we're playing that kickoff next weekend. I hate it. I hate that kickoff. So you know what? I might be super. I might just start the game 45 minutes, start the coverage 45 minutes next weekend to get some sleep because, yeah, the idea of starting the coverage at 11:15 for a 12:30 kickoff, just no, it probably couldn't be 11:45 to be honest. Jeremiah, how are you, bro? And thank you. Both sets of fans now obviously showing love for Kevin Keegan. St. James's Park looking brilliant. All the fans holding up their little squares and a huge tifo as well for King Kev. And it's great to see both clubs come together to honour such a great man. So, right, let me make sure, right, clock's ready. Okay, we're good to go. Oh, I'm getting nervous now, folks. 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes until our Premier League campaign for 26-27 gets underway. I thought Craig was going to roast United then, but don't want history to repeat itself. Yeah, it definitely popped into my head. You know, I remember saying we'll be grand. You know, Adrian will be grand today. We won't concede. Blah blah. Like, you know, I remember. So yeah, I'll be a bit more cocky if we get the win afterwards. Craig, you blessed my eyes with that hair photo. It's what I do, Gareth. It's what I do, Gareth. You're very welcome, my friend. But no, thank you, Gareth, for being with us, bro. Tommy, how are you, Tommy? So my granddad was a lifelong Red and passed away a few weeks back. It's my first game without him. The club are putting a memorial in next week's matchday programme. Absolutely class. Well, sending love, Tommy, to you and your family. Sorry on the passing of your granddad, sir. And it's a lovely touch yet to have him in the programme next week. But sending you love, Tommy, to you and your family. Right. Come on, the Reds. Come on, the Reds. So I'm going to try my best to focus on commentary and keeping you guys up to date on the game. I will dip in and out of the chat occasionally, but don't think I'm ignoring you guys or anything like that. I just want to make sure that I can, you know, communicate across what's happening and not get sidetracked and stuff. Let's go. I think that's long enough. I think I've portrayed your thoughts there. But thank you, Victor. RIP to any headphone users there. Marmouche the Spurs, here we go. Well, hopefully it's Cody Gakpo soon. Tottenham reached verbal agreement with Man City to sign Omar Marmoush. Here we go. Verbal agreement done with an initial loan buy clause to become mandatory under certain conditions of £50 million. Marmoush says yes to Spurs days ago, travel and medical on Monday. So that feels low. Didn't they pay more than that for Marmoush? That feels low to me, lads. Stevie Boy said 1:30 a.m. Come on the Reds. Well, thank you for being with us, Stevie Boy, and obviously being up nice and early for the game as well. Does Newland the alien still exist? Yes, he is right there. He's ready. Don't worry. We don't go anywhere without our little alien mascot. Even when I come on holidays, Newland comes in the hand baggage, you know. He's very good at keeping quiet, and he can mask. He can. What's the word I'm looking for? He can use osmosis when I'm going through the security checks to just put himself into the atmosphere, and then he comes back together and regenerates when we get there. Spurs overpaid for Savinho because City would owe money to Frankfurt on the Marmoush sale. It does feel like there is some shenanigans afoot, Mr. Crosby, yes. Long-time listener, don't always agree, but I come around. Appreciate it. So look, we don't always have to agree, my man. You know, it's football. It's an opinion thing. You know, we don't always have to agree. I'm certainly not saying that I'm always right, but I'll always just promise you an honest view. Whatever I think, I'll say. But thank you, man. Appreciate you being with us. And I think we both want to win today anyway. We'll probably agree on that one. So again, let's run through the Liverpool 11. It is Alisson in goal. It's Frimpong at right back. Kirkes at left back. Jeremy Jacquet in alongside our captain Virgil van Dijk. A midfield of Dominic Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch, and then Wirtz in the 10. On the left-hand side, Gakpo. Right-hand side, Rio Ngamoa. And obviously Alexander Isak then. On the bench, your Liverpool bench today is Mamadashvili, Endo, McAllister, Costas, Munoz, Araujo, Nioni, McConnell, and Kumas. The Newcastle 11. Hornacek, Hall, Botman, Vissa, Asula, Barnes, Chow, Store, Alanga, Dedic, and Miley, excuse me. Right. Nearly there, ladies and gents. Nearly there. So as I always try to say, sit back, relax. I'll do my best to keep you up to date with what's going on in the game. And we'll have a live match reaction coming up afterwards as well. And our player ratings video will be out later today. Make sure you're signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp if you want to submit your player ratings to be included in the video. Connor will put the link into that in the match reaction. Apart from McAllister, the Liverpool subs bench isn't exactly filled with household names. Well, let's be honest about it. We also have Ekitike injured. So, you know, and it's pretty good. To be fair, the bench, if you look at Araujo, I think everybody knows who he is. McAllister, as you mentioned, everybody knows who he is. Endo, I would say, is a household name. He's, was the Japanese captain. After that, though, yeah, there are some youngsters on there, but that's why we need to dip into the market. Right, folks, sorry, there was the minute silence there and a minute's applause for Keegan, and I didn't want to interrupt. Brian, how are we? No nerves for now. Completely excited for the post-slot era. Yeah, hopefully we're at least a bit more lively. It is, yeah, it's time to put up or shut up now, all right? Craig, the year I watched all your streams, we won the league, so my aim is to do it again this season. I love it. I love it. So if we don't win the league, it's because you didn't watch a stream. I know who to blame. No, but yeah, hopefully we have a good season. And thank you for being with us, my man. Craig, this is probably the hardest opening to a match I've had in a while. It's a tough match, but if we get through it, it's a good 3 points and an awkward away game out of the way. So I'm hoping we can catch Newcastle not at their best, but we have to go out there and do it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get underway. Teams are in their pre-match huddle. We're nearly ready to go. Thank you, Hazzy. Appreciate you. Now the nerves are kicking in, lads. The nerves are kicking in. Right, so a reminder, I'm not going to be able to dip into the chat as much. Even super chats I'll get back to as and when I can throughout the stream, but I'm going to try and focus on giving you guys some up-to-date information on it, on the match, so stick with us. Liverpool playing from left to right in the first half. In our all-red strip, obviously Newcastle in their black and white away. Just waiting for the nod from the referee and we'll be underway. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. New season, and the Reds don't do the decent thing and instead try to play through the middle and immediately give away possession, which Gravenberch wins back. Ref says there's a handball in there, though, and it'll be a Newcastle free kick. Hey, Craig, how good was it to watch United lose to Hull? I think they were projected to finish above us. Also, what do you think about Trent's interview? Wouldn't mind loan him. I don't want Trent back near the club is my honest answer. He made his bed, now go and lie in it. And I don't mean to be salty about that, but I am a bit. So I don't want him back near the club. He thought he was better than us, so let him do what he's doing in Madrid. And United losing was a lovely surprise, yeah. It definitely was. Right, anyway, free kick to Newcastle. Liverpool holding the line about 3 or 4 yards ahead of the 18-yard box. No Dan Burn again for Newcastle today. No, there's a header through to Alisson there. No Dan Burn for Newcastle today, as well as no Bruno Guimaraes, obviously, who's gone to Arsenal. And no Joelinton, who's also injured as well. Virgil side foots the ball forward. Ball breaks down. Second ball again is knocked forward. Newcastle clear it. Szoboszlai brings it under control in the centre circle. He goes out left side to Kerkez. Kerkez back to Virgil. Frimpong. Nice ball through the lines now. Wirtz opens up a bit of space, plays it out left-hand side. Here comes Cody Gakpo. Kerkez on the overlap. Gakpo slips it into Wirtz. Oh, strike blocked. Good play, though. Come on, boys. It's good. We carved Newcastle apart there through the middle. Wirtz did well. Gakpo plays it back to him. Wirtz then tries a shot and it's blocked. It's out of play now for Newcastle throw-in. But a good exchange there from Liverpool. Progress the ball quickly. We'll sync up now with 2 minutes for everybody. 2 minutes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right. Can somebody give Andoni the memo that he's not to be wearing navy? I feel like we need to communicate this to the gaffer. He's not to be wearing navy. Navy is the broccoli and Jaffa cakes of the clothing colours. Bit of head tennis going on now in the centre of the park. Eventually, Visa brings it down. He's knocked into. Newcastle get a free kick, which they take quickly. Although they tried to take it quickly, but the ref says too quickly and brings it back. So 5 major trophies in 5 full seasons for the Newcastle manager. Will he continue that trend at Newcastle? I doubt it. Isak comes in to close it down. Newcastle have it back. Press comes on from Liverpool. Newcastle go long. Xhaka does well, knocks it down to Wirtz. Wirtz immediately goes into the right channel for Isak. Tries a little bit of a Cruyff turn back on himself there, or scissors turn, and it's intercepted by Newcastle and cleared away. But you can see how quickly Liverpool are looking to get their heads up and get the ball forward. Soon as Wirtz got possession of that, he knew exactly where he wanted to put it, into Isak. Xhaka now, he carries the ball into the Newcastle half. Out right side to Rio. Rio cuts back in, goes to Frimpong. Xhaka. Frimpong, Gravenberch. Lovely, lovely bit of play from Ryan. Lets it slip across his body. Pulled across and it's messy and it's intercepted. Great play again by Liverpool. Gravenberch lets it roll across his body and then he messes the pass up. Now Newcastle on the counter-attack with Elanga. 1-0 Newcastle. Lads, what did I say in the whole of pre-season? What have I warned against? What have I said all pre-season? Somebody go back and watch any of my watch-alongs. I've said the same thing every pre-season. You give the ball away with a sloppy pass in the final third, we get countered and we're opened up. And here we are, first game of the season, and what do? We counter-attack, or we attack, we give the ball away with a sloppy pass, we're countered and we're 1-0 down. It's not rocket science, it's very, very basic stuff, and we're caught it again. Look, it's a sloppy ball from Gravenberch. Newcastle turn it over, win it back. Then straight away they get the ball. Elanga goes on the overlap. Ball slipped into him. He's miles onside and he picks out the corner. It's 1-0. Said it all. But we don't need a DM, James Pearce, right? We don't need a DM. Tell us again, James Pearce, why we don't need a DM and why the club don't think we need one. It's pretty goddamn obvious what we need. And here we are, 5 minutes into the new season. Same old, same old. It's just so obvious. And I warned all pre-season, same thing. Protect the damn ball in the final third. Don't give it away stupidly because we commit bodies forward. And we do, and we're counted and we're behind. It's... Told you lot, stop underestimating them. Can you stop being a dickhead? How about that? No one's underestimating them. We did that to ourselves. And if you knew anything about football, you'd understand that. That wasn't a great Newcastle. It was us. We gave possession and got countered. If you don't understand football, just keep down. Don't speak, you know. You're embarrassing yourself here by trying to belittle other people by saying, oh, I told you all, I know everything. No, that was on us. We gave the ball away. Newcastle did their part, but for me, as a fan, I'm looked at and thinking that's exactly what I've been seeing all pre-season and exactly what I warned against. It's ridiculous. We talked about it more with with Wirtz in pre-season, but that time it was Gravenberch. Just does the hard part, breaks the line, gets in between, and then just plays a sloppy pass out to the left that was intercepted. Oh, come on, give me strength. Right, anyway, 1-0 down. Plenty of time on the clock, but not the start we'd hoped for, lads. Frimpong, Jacquet. Of course, Newcastle can now sit, be compact, and look to play on the counter after going 1-0 up. And this is the problem when you give it away. Not only, of course, have we given them the initiative in the game, but we've given them something to hang on to now and something to fight for. Another ball across the front of Newcastle's goal that's not to a Liverpool player. It's cleared and it's back with Jacquet. Julian said, welcome back, Craig. Let's hope Liverpool can have a better season. I hope so, dude. I hope so, but it's not been the start we'd hoped for this season anyway. Free kick to Liverpool here. Wirtz was fouled. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, that one. Harvey Barnes just comes in, no eyes on the... Well, yeah, just pretty straightforward. He just bundles straight into Wirtz. Craig, you must be dreading coming to the Emirates. Not really, mate. No, I get excited about the big games, to be honest. Arsenal, I never have any fear of Arsenal. I have respect for them, of course I do, but I never fear anyone. It's Liverpool, you know. We should be... Ooh, ball in there. Verge heads it. Goes off a Newcastle player, says the ref, and it'll be a Liverpool corner. No, not fear, Zane, but respect. Definitely respect. Actually came off the Newcastle player's shoulder, I think. Off Miley's shoulder. Right, let's see if we can do that from this corner. Gakpo floats it in towards the penalty spot, headed away by Newcastle. Wirtz gets the second ball, plays it out to Milos Kerkez. Gakpo, his strike's blocked. Second ball is just about cleared by Newcastle. So to go back to the goal for a minute, look, obviously I look at this from a Liverpool perspective. Fair play to Newcastle on the counter and well done Andoni Iraola on the finish. Obviously from a Newcastle's perspective, you look at that and you'd say good counter-attack and goal. But from our perspective, I can't help but just feel frustrated because something I've spoken about multiple times in pre-season is about protecting the ball in the final third and not turning it over, because we get so many bodies forward now. We're turned, and that's where that natural shield of the back four needs to be. We need to have somebody that can snuff that danger out, and we don't. This is why the journalists need to get their finger out, stop brown nosing the club, and actually hold them to account for not getting in what we need. It boiled my blood the other day to see James Pearce writing that line that club sources don't think a six is needed in this system, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, James. I don't care what club sources say. I want you, the journalist, to actually do your part and say, they're wrong, we need one. And also, I don't know a Liverpool fan, lads, that doesn't think we need a six. So this isn't like one group of us looking to be spoiled kids. This is a position we haven't boxed off properly for a few seasons now. Oof. Kirk has got a leg to the face there. Accidentally, I should say, like nothing in it, but he did catch one to the forehead. Right, Allison to go long with the free kick. Kirk steps in to win it. Wirtz. Then a foul from Milos Kerkez. Newcastle ball just inside their half. Newcastle take it quickly. Press comes on from Isak. Newcastle, though, find their man. Harvey Barnes, I think it is. He spins inside. Overlap now from Lewis Hall. Rio's tracking back with him. Stand him up, Rio. Stand him up. Good man. Stand him up. Barnes tries a ball in. It's blocked. Newcastle have it back with Lewis Hall. Holly said, we need a DM, and that goal proved it clearly. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. But also, we need to protect the ball better. You know, I was more critical, Holly, of Wirtz in pre-season with it, but in that instance there, it was Gravenberch that made a mess of it, just giving the ball away after doing a lot of the good hard work. Alisson's out now playing sweeper keeper, winning headers. Liverpool throw in. I think Ali wanted a free kick there, but he came out commanding, did well, cleared it with a header because Virgil and Xhaka were caught a little bit with the bounce, and then thankfully Alisson mopped it up. Right, Xhaka. I mean, hopefully we can restore parity here as quickly as possible. Gravenberch. Gakpo. Out to Kerkez. Back into Gakpo. Virgil. Xhaka. Into Wirtz. He dropped a little bit deeper. Wirtz plays into the right channel to Rio. I think it's overhit. Yeah, it's overhit. Goes behind for a Newcastle goal kick. I mean, I'm looking at the goal now. It's so sloppy. It's so sloppy. So all it was it's a ball across that Newcastle defender slides in, plays it into midfield, and then it's just one pass from there to Alanga, and he just, yeah. I'm not liking the angle, by the way, from Alisson. I'm going to say that out loud. I'm not liking the angle. I think he went too far to his left side. But either way, good finish from Alanga. And it all came from us turning over the ball. Harvey Lewis said, is it just me or do we look really sloppy? That sloppiness, mate, has been my biggest bugbear of pre-season. We get ourselves into good positions and we're just not clinical. And there's another example of it. Frimpong carrying the ball forward, gets into a good position, brings himself inside. Then he has the simple part of a ball into the right channel to Rio, underhits it, and it gets intercepted. Newcastle counter us. Eventually the ball goes out. Again, us turning over possession in their third of the pitch. It's just not good enough. And it's simple stuff. Throw into Newcastle. Far side. Almost 15 minutes on the clock at St James's Park. It's Newcastle lead by a goal to nil. That goal came via Andoni Iraola. Kirkes. He goes long with his clearance, looking for Isak. Ball breaks. Wirtz lets it bounce, which lets the Newcastle player back at him. Newcastle have it now. They go in over the top looking for Iraola, but it's overhit and goes straight through to Alisson. Ali goes long. Looking for Isak. Again, Newcastle player wins the first header. Ball breaks in midfield. Wirtz to Gakpo. Gakpo can't find a pass, then fouls the Newcastle player. Free kick Newcastle. Iraola. Newcastle have it down Liverpool, left channel. They go back. Come on, lads. Press harder. Lewis Hall now. He goes back. Press comes on from Isak. It's back with the Newcastle keeper. Come on, boys. Right, come on. Transition quickly, Gakpo. Quickly. Rio, man on, man on. Come on, Rio. Move the ball to Frimpong. Back into Rio. Come on, mate. Where's the movement ahead of him? Isak, Frimpong, Soboslai. Look at this. There's a circle. Run into the fucking space, Rio. Wirtz. Again, his pass is a few yards behind Kirkes. It's just lazy, boys. It's lazy. Simple stuff. Just they're not switched on. Like simple passes, a yard, 2 yards behind their man, then forcing us backwards. Good ball from Xhaka now, out to Rio on the right channel. Rio stands up a deep cross. Goes over everybody. Isak has it on the far side. I mean, somebody go out there and help him. Back to Kirkes. He fires in a low cross. Wirtz. Oh, saved. Unlucky. Cross fired in. Wirtz gets on it. Takes a touch. Hits it then on the turn. Keeper gets a strong hand on it and turns it around for a Liverpool corner. It was a cross in from Kirkes. It was a miss-hit clearance. Then Wirtz is there quickly. It bounces just in front of the keeper who gets a strong hand on it. Left hand and touches it round the post for a Liverpool corner. Unlucky. Ball in. Ball in. Virgil tries to dive at it. It's missed. It goes through the Kirkes and his cross is miles too high. Straight behind for a Newcastle goal kick. Kirkes isn't good and our midfield is not defensive. I don't know how Kirkes is somehow getting blame. Every time I've seen Kirkes, he's been making himself available as an option to Gakpo, and Gakpo's been coming back inside. So I don't know where the Kirkes not good enough stuff is coming from, for me, because I don't really see what he's done wrong so far in the game. Apart from that overhit cross there. Alisson. Again, Newcastle forced backwards, all the way back to the keeper. I always do laugh at people saying, why can't you show us the screen? Do you think that Sky and all these companies pay billions for the match day copyright images so we can rob it on them? Obviously, if we showed you any of the match, the channel would be gone and all of our livelihoods out the window. So that's why we don't show the game. I wish we could. But I think the rights holders who pay billions might be a bit upset if we did that. Again, another sloppy ball. This time it's Isak trying to pick out Soboslai and we've turned over possession. Oh, now the lads are getting in each other's way. It's fucking Keystone Cop stuff, lads. It's just messy. Let's just call it that at the minute. It's just messy and disjointed and sloppy. Throw into Newcastle, far side of the pitch. Gakpo steps in and wins it back. Kirkes. Free kick to Liverpool. Was a foul there on Ryan Gravenberch. Visa's not happy, but the ref blew the whistle. So many negative comments towards our own players in the chat. That's just, I don't know, I'm not even going to bite on it, but do you ever think of getting behind a player in the first 20 minutes of the season rather than just slagging them off and saying they're not good enough? I mean, ultimately, they're Premier League footballers. They're plenty good. Kirkes now, head up, ball drilled across. It's low, keeper palms it out and it's cleared by Newcastle. I'm just going to have to cover up some of the chat, to be honest, lads, because I can't read it. It's too negative. Soboslai to Rio. Tries to take too much out of the ball. Well, he had to get out of a tight spot, to be fair, but he turned over possession. Newcastle now hook it away. Johan Visa. Again, he shields the ball. Liverpool tried to press. Newcastle go back. Jay Vert said, well said, mate. Sick of it. It's so disheartening. Like, no one's happy we're losing, but there's no need to be going in slating players saying they're not good enough. Ultimately, we're behind because we gave away possession and turned it over. And we don't have a number 6. The things that we've warned about all summer, but there we go again now. Newcastle trying to get in behind with a long ball over the top. Kirkes gets a block in though, and it'll be a Newcastle corner. Come on, boys. So they played a long searching ball over the top of Kirkes. Newcastle did get in behind. Then Kirkes gets back on his bike, turns around and gets a block in. And it's a Newcastle corner. Come on, boys. So Liverpool and Bournemouth both conceded 20 set-piece goals last year along with Palace. So right up there at the top, and we better change that stat this year. Cross in. Headed away by Gakpo. Well done, Cody. Newcastle win the second ball. It's back out to Harvey Barnes. Frimpong puts pressure on him. Barnes goes back. Still Newcastle with the ball. I say that. They've just given it away to Liverpool. And again, it was a straightforward pass available to Wirtz, and we've made a mess of that. It's just sloppy stuff. I think there was a really good counter-attacking chance there if Liverpool player just manages to fucking execute the pass, but nope. Again, it's under hit and taken away from Wirtz. Isak now. Here, ref, get up out of that, will you? How is that not a free kick, you fucking spanner? Is this shenanigans? Shenanigans. How is that not a free kick, lads? Isak has his ankles clipped and the ref stands there saying, no, play on, play on. Absolute blatant pass. And he's there, play on, play on. Nothing to see here. Good to see you again, Craig. Hope you and the Reds have an amazing year. Thank you, Chris. Hopefully we do have a good one, mate. But again, starting off sloppily here. Right, Virgil. Xhaka, Frimpong. Isak into Szoboszlai. He's brought down about 25 yards out. Ref gets the yellow card out. Visa drags back Szoboszlai. Ref spots it. He's right there. So it's a free kick to Liverpool and Visa's on a yellow. Jay Riddle says, still waiting on Fabinho replacement. Yep. Absolutely. But this is what pisses me off about James Pearson, the journalist that just parrot the club's line of, oh, the club don't think we need a DM. What he really meant to say was the club didn't sell McAllister and are too cheap to buy a DM. I'll translate it for you. What's this? What's he saying to me? Right. Szoboszlai over the free kick. I mean, it's probably too far out for a shot. But never say never with Dom. I mean, the keeper's making this tempted. I'm not going to lie. If I'm Szoboszlai, I'm looking at that right-hand post here. What he does, he tries to crack a shot, but it's straight into the wall. Then again, he gives... Fuck me! How can we not play a 5-yard pass, lads? He gives it away. Newcastle are countering us again now with Asula. Alanga. Like... It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We are the best attackers for the opposition. It's crazy. The amount of turnover of ball in the final third is ridiculous. James Hart said, let's stay positive, family. AI Rubble, one sec, mate. Gakpo, his strike is blocked. I just want to have it vehemently known against Rio playing on the right wing. Bring nothing good out of this game. We need a top-class right winger. I don't disagree on needing a top-class right winger, mate. And I also don't really disagree with Rio not being in his best position, but I guess needs must at the minute. Frimpong now. You forgot the ball, Jeremy. You forgot the ball, bro. Oh, God. Szoboszlai into Frimpong. Again. Sometimes it's like Frimpong's brain is 5 seconds ahead of his feet. Gakpo goes round the outside, pulls it back. Again, Newcastle come in and take the ball off him. Alanga. Up to Virgil. Virgil wins it back. Kirkes. Virgil. Xhaka. Szoboszlai. Out to Rio. Lewis Hall's there with him. Rio cuts inside and passes the ball straight to a Newcastle defender. And then throws in a foul for good mix. If there's a stat or a number to show how many times we've given Newcastle the ball in possession in their third of the pitch, I'd love to see it, because it must be particularly high. Every single time we get into the final third, bar maybe one or two, we're just giving them the ball back easily with loose passes. It's ridiculous. Xhaka does well, steps out of defence now, rolls it across left side to Kirkes. Kirkes tries a strike, it's a bit of a daisy cutter, and it rolls through to the keeper. Heading for the half-hour mark at St James's Park, it's still Newcastle leading with an Andoni Iraola goal to 0. Oh, God. Now it's Kirkes' turn to foul. Oh, he's getting a booking as well. Well done, lads. Well done. Fucking Well done. Brilliant. Yeah, get yourself a booking after half an hour, Milosh, up against a pacey right winger. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? There's just no need for it as well. Absolutely no need for it. Well done. This referee's lost it. He's on a Madden. How are you booking him, you fucking dickhead? He won the ball, you stupid twat. How are you booking him? You get a yellow card now for winning the ball, apparently. You get a yellow card for winning the ball. Look, wins the fucking ball and gets a yellow card. Well done, referee. Well done. Bula bus for the referee. Absolutely wonderful officiating. The best in the world here in the Premier League. Absolutely fantabidoso there from the official. Absolutely no shenanigans whatsoever. Not at all bullshit. Isak gets the ankle kicked off and nothing doing. Jeremy Frimpong wins the ball, booking immediately and free kick. This lad's lost it. Atwell's lost the fucking plot. This is ridiculous. Same old PGMOL bollocks every year. I went through all the new rules the other day and I swear winning the ball isn't one of the fouls that were going to be given for yellows. Winning the ball wasn't something that I remember hearing's going to get you a yellow card. That's ridiculous. Absolutely spoofers in the PGMO. Absolute gobshitery. Basula's free kick straight into the wall. Second one takes a deflection and it'll be a Newcastle corner. I don't even know what to say anymore. I give up. Same season, same garbage. I don't think Rio was ready, just my opinion. I mean, that's more than fair, Daz, and I did warn before the game. We're talking about a 17-year-old kid here. So the odds of him being ready, you're probably right. But this is where we're at with the options that the manager has. But I wouldn't disagree with you at all on that, mate. And it's not surprising to me that he's not ready. He's a 17-year-old kid. This is what I keep saying. We shouldn't be looking to just throw people in at the deep end because the owners are cheap. They should be brought in at a time frame that works, that's natural, not out of desperation. Right, Liverpool now on the counter. Isak, ball goes across. Frimpong has it. What is that, Jeremy? I mean, what the actual hell is that? With 4 players at the back post and Frimpong can't get it past the knee of the defender who's 5 yards in front of him. I'm not mad. I don't even know what to say here, boys. I mean, how can a referee not see somebody winning the ball and then book them? I'm still stumped by that one when he didn't give a foul against Newcastle player who kicked the ankles off Isak. Oh, fuck off. Newcastle players falling if Liverpool exist near them. Yeah, and referee giving yellows as well, like confetti for no reason. Because neither Kirkes nor Frimpong's challenges were anywhere close to a yellow, and there was no accumulation either. It's absolute. Oh, there's another yellow for the referees. 2 aside now in the first half. 2 aside in the first half. So last season, the Premier League was WWE rules. Now this season, apparently, we're playing no contact, or there's just cards galore. The overcompensation from these simpletons is absolutely ridiculous. So it's a free kick now to Liverpool. Miley in the book for Newcastle. Szoboszlai over it. Ball in. Headed away by Newcastle. Second ball drops to Kirkes. It's not really got many options there, and he just does the sensible thing and just gives Newcastle a throw in. Don't want to get out of the way, just give them the throw in. That's the easiest way, isn't it? Just turn over. This is the Liverpool way. It's the Liverpool way. We just turn over the ball. That's what we do. Here, we're in your third of the pitch. What do we do now? GPS says put the ball out. Just give it to them. Give it back to them. That'll do. Hamoudi said, Rio isn't ready. Bring on Munoz. Daniel said, Frimpong having a stinker thus far. I'm not seeing... There's so many things that are annoying me about this game so far. Our work rate and our tempo isn't as high as I'd want it to be. The physicality isn't there. Again, we turn over possession and concede another stupid counter-attacking goal. Sloppiness in the final third over and over again. It's just... it's been a frustrating first 35. Jacques, little 1-2 with Szoboszlai. Back to Szoboszlai again. Jacques. Out to Rio. Rio puts in a cross. It's deflected straight through to the keeper. Newcastle knock it forward. VVD comes across the cover, puts it straight out for a throw in. Again, Virgil turns over possession, gives it to Newcastle. Now it's with Lewis Hall. Rio comes back to try and help out. Lewis Hall in possession for Newcastle, just inside the Liverpool half. He plays the ball around the corner. Newcastle now slip it down the line. And it goes behind, thankfully for us, for a goal kick. Frimpong did just enough there, and Harvey Barnes can't get on the end of it, so it's a Liverpool goal kick. Virgil goes long with the goal kick. Looking for Gakpo, but the Newcastle player wins the ball. Gravenberch then steps in. He has it. Out to the left. Wirtz now. He cuts inside. Float to the cross. Looking for Szoboszlai. Newcastle head gets on it. It's with Ryan Gravenberch. Come on, boys. Gravenberch to Szoboszlai. Isak. Frimpong. Out right side now to Rio. Jeremy, step in. Cross in. Over everybody's head. Newcastle put it behind for a corner. Liverpool corner, far side of the pitch. 38th minute. Still Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Right, boys, come on. Even something from a set piece will do. Why, Virg, you know the drill. Ball in. Oh, I think it'd be another corner. That was close. There's a good ball to the near post. There was a flick on it, and then the Newcastle player gets the second connection and puts it behind for another corner, but that was close. Oh, yeah. Right, Dom. Gets a second bite of the cherry. Another corner here. Same side. Dom gives the signal. Ball in. Headed away to near post by Newcastle. Frimpong. He goes back out to Florian Wirtz, right hand side. Wirtz plays a nice ball inside Gravenberch. Oh, his ball looking for Isak. Takes a deflection off a Newcastle leg and goes through to the keeper. Another attack breaks down. Again, Verge just heads the ball straight into an area where there's a Newcastle player in it. Visa, Newcastle going down Liverpool's right-hand side here. Liverpool do manage to force them back a little bit. Now it's Lewis Hall in possession. The ball goes out of play and it'll be a Liverpool throw-in. Szoboszlai tries to get on with it quickly. Wirtz just punts a ball forward there into an area, really, rather than directly to a player, and Newcastle clear it. It'll be a Liverpool throw-in far side of the pitch, about 5 yards inside the Newcastle half. Wirtz to Gravenberch. To Xhaka. Just about to hit the 40-minute mark at St. James's Park. Still Newcastle leading by that Elanga goal to 0. Xhaka. He's caught a dose of the old give the ball away itis now. Gravenberch, his strike is blocked. Lads, we must have a record for the most shots blocked for the last few seasons. There must be a record somewhere with our name on it, because I've yet to see another football team have as many shots blocked as we do. That time it was Xhaka who just fired a pass into nobody and it was cleared. It's just sloppy. Sloppy, and the intensity isn't where you'd expect it to be. Thomas Tuchel there in the crowd. Probably wants Newcastle to defend now, does he? That's the Tuchel way, isn't it? Score a goal and then defend for the rest of the game. Sorry, England. Couldn't help myself. Virgil steps in, knocks it forward. Newcastle hook it back into the Liverpool half. Wirtz now runs out of pitch, just runs straight out with the ball. I mean, oh, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry, lads. I don't know what to say at this point. If you can't get yourselves up for this game of all games, lads, to start the season, fuck me. We've had 10 shots in the match with 2 of them on target. 54% possession to 46. That's a yellow, ref. That's a yellow. How, if that he has to be off. How is that not a second yellow, you little gimp? You little balding gimp. That was an absolute stonewall yellow. Stopping it. That's a yellow. Oh my God, you scummy little shit. That's a yellow card. Oh my days, lads. The ref bottled it there again. He's been dishing out yellow cards like confetti, and then he stops a blatant counter-attack by tripping him, and because he's already on a yellow, the ref hasn't got the balls to do the right thing. Absolute nonsense yet again from these clowns in the Premier League officiating department. Absolute gobshitery. That's just garbage. Garbage. I don't even understand this anymore. That if you were to start talking about a textbook yellow card, it's stopping a counter-attack like that. With the ball rolled across Gravenberch's body, he's away into about 25 yards of space. Visa clips and brings him down, and the ref hasn't got the balls to do the right thing. Brilliant. Can't wait for Dermot Gallagher and Ref Ross to tell us how he did the right thing again, because, you know, Dermot definitely doesn't always back the officials. Definitely unbiased there in his report. And Sky definitely don't try and gaslight us. Newcastle again, winning second balls. Elanga, he clips one in, it's headed away by Virgil. Second ball breaks to Visa. He has a strike. And thankfully for us, it goes wide. Almost 44 minutes on the clock. It's the players, clearly. The tactics are good. Well, yes, it's the players, but it still doesn't change the frustration, I guess, does it? This is utter shite. How many holes in this team? Well, according to James Pearson, the journalists in covering the club, sure, the club don't worry. The club are worried. The club are calm. I heard Richard Hughes won't even have to have a wank tonight to go to sleep. That's how calm he is about the defensive midfielder role. The real calm. Everybody's just going around singing Kumbaya, holding hands and skipping around the AXA because there's nothing to worry about. Our midfield's tickety-boo. It's glorious. We don't need a DM. We're all just frauds of fans who are petulantly just want Liverpool to spend money. So yeah, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Come on, Richard, sing with me. Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Everybody with Richard, come on now. We don't need a DM, we have Grav. We're fucking wonderful. There's no holes in here, we're watertight. There's no holes in here, we're not shite. Right, another ball in and Newcastle again defend it. Man down with a sore arse. I repeat, man down with a sore arse. Oh, Elmo, what you got to say about this one, mate? How are we playing? I can't argue with you, Elmo. Can't argue with you, bro. Don't your little arms tucked in there, bro. There you go. Hee hee, stop it. Oh, 1 minute added on with the referee. Of course, 1 minute. There's only been 4 yellow cards, refs, and a few stoppages, but 1 minute sounds about right, doesn't it, ref? Yeah. Brilliant. Well done. Domino. Hoo-hoo. Oh, another ball played to the invisible man out there on the right-hand side. It's just wonderful stuff altogether, lads. Peak. It's great. I love it. It's brilliant. Right, half-time. And at half-time, it is Newcastle who lead by a goal to nil. That goal scored by Andoni Iraola after an assist pretty much from Ryan Gravenberch. And Liverpool have the same issues that we've always had. So yeah, sloppy I think would be the word, folks, for me to talk about that first half. Hamoudi said Liverpool need a Coutinho. They don't have Wirtz. Look, I'm not going to put the blame at one player's feet there. It's just been sloppy and messy all around. Yeah, it's same old, same old. You know, same issues that we've seen there in pre-season, same issues that we've all been talking about for a long time are just there. Wasteful, sloppy, and just turning over possession, being countered, and that's how they scored. That's what makes this so annoying. You can see this. This is so clear. It happened to us multiple times in pre-season. It's happened to us again in the opening game of the season. We're in possession. We're driving bodies forward, and it's a sloppy pass that turns over possession. And within 2 passes, Newcastle have the ball in the net, and we're 1-0 down. And we only need to look at ourselves. Hey Craig, United fan here. How has your transfer window been? I think ours has been somewhat good, but we still need a striker and a left back. Well, our transfer window, John, my man, has consisted of Ronald Araujo on loan and a £35 million signing of Victor Munoz. That's pretty much our transfer window. Xhaka was agreed in January. So yeah, we've done nothing, mate. And again, frustration because it's not being called out enough. Nobody's putting the pressure on the club. It's just not good enough. But again, am I surprised? No. When you're a club that's leaderless at the minute, because we don't know really who's running the football operations, a director of football is disappearing off to Saudi Arabia. The other lads been leaving because the multi-club model went out the window. The club's just rudderless at the minute, but, you know, it's now being reflected on the pitch because we aren't up to speed yet. And this was supposed to be the great start for us, right? Get Newcastle at the right time. They're unprepared. They've been shoddy in pre-season. Well, we've been all over the place. All over the place. It's just sloppy. Intensity level not good enough. Movement up front isn't good enough. Picking out passes hasn't been good enough. Isak is a ghost, Craig. The whole attack has been a ghost pretty much. We've done nothing in that game except give away possession. And Newcastle didn't even have to work particularly hard to get their goal. It was a good goal from their perspective. I mean, they countered quickly. But look, I'd like to say that there were easy things we can put right, but, you know, I've been saying that for a long time. Ultimately, we're not ready yet. We're not there yet. And I can't put this down to fitness because it was the first half, so it's not like we could have ran out of steam already. It's just messy and sloppy, and it's frustrating. It's not what we expected. It's not. And look, I'm not going to go in on the manager because I do understand this is in transition and it's going to take us a bit of time to get to where we want to be. I fully appreciate and understand all of that. But simple things can be put right. You know, like being alert, keeping your head up when you're making a pass. Simple things that are nothing to do with the system. It's to do with concentration. And it's that, I guess, lack of concentration at times. Like, how many times in the first half did you see a Liverpool player do the hard part of what they were trying to do? So whether it's let the ball roll across your body to get away from your man, or whether it's getting yourself out of a tight spot, they've got themselves into the right area. And then when it comes time to release the ball, to either slip it into the right channel or whatever, it's under hit or it's blocked by a Newcastle leg. It's just the same pattern over and over again. Even Xhaka tried to fire a ball in there from one point when he stepped into the Newcastle half, straight to a Newcastle player. It's just those simple things haven't got up to the speed that they should be at. You know, I'd love to sit here and say Newcastle have been just brilliant and we, you know, haven't caught up or anything, but I don't think Newcastle have been particularly good. This has just been a very disappointing 45 minutes for us. Lucas said next sporting director better pull his finger out. Again, what I would say, Lucas, is whoever the next sporting director is, the fans have to do their part. Like, we can't keep letting them away with shit. We can't keep giving the benefit of the doubt. We can't keep saying things like there's still X amount of weeks left. If we don't see things being done in the right way, we have to speak out about it. And we have to come together and do this because it's letting FSG and the lads away with what they've gotten away with that lands us in these messes. You know, it's frustrating. There's plenty to go. We can still turn this around. You'd imagine or you'd hope we can't be that bad in the second half, but unfortunately, this isn't what we'd hoped for so far. There's still 45 to go, but yeah, so far it's just looking like basically a continuation of some of the frustrations from last year. And I do give Iraola time with that because it is transition. I would expect some tactical mistakes to be made, or, you know, maybe players not being on the same wavelength in a particular pattern of attacking. But the problems, again, are just, for me, just given my view, is coming from a lack of concentration. How have we replaced Fabinho in 2026? What is the data team doing? This is pathetic. Same tying every year. Yeah, the data team, again, these lads just, they came in, the journalists couldn't bend over quick enough to blow smoke up their holes. And they hadn't done that or achieved that. So exactly, what is the fruits of our data-led recruitment policy? That's a simple question that I think I and many other fans have been asking for a long time. Where's the benefits of it? Because here we are with 9 days, 8 days, 9 days to go in the window. Have we seen the benefit of this data-led recruitment drive? Have we? Fuck. We just keep getting excuses and people keep buying it. So again, have your say, speak up, be vocal. I've been trying to say it for years. This club will get away with, football clubs in general will get away with what they can get away with. But it's up to us to hold them to account. And how have we not replaced Fabinho? I don't know, dude. I don't know, because it sounds ridiculous. I don't know a Liverpool fan that wouldn't have given some version of this list for the window. A right back, a centre back, a DM and 2 attackers. That was pretty much most people's list for Liverpool to get done in this summer's window. Haven't got the right back in. Got a centre back on loan because he fell into our lap. Triggered a release clause for Victor Munoz, and the rest of the window's been nothing short of a disgrace. Sloppy decision making, physically weak, said Harry. How haven't we replaced Salah? Depth is shocking. Not only that, Declan, my man, how do you rip up his contract and not have the replacement ready? Like, you go out and you tell the world Salah's going. So basically, prepare, Liverpool are coming shopping and get your prices up. Like, it takes a special kind of stupid to do that. Tell the world that you're letting Salah go for nothing while you still have to go and get a replacement. I mean, show me in the data where that's a good idea. Or show me in the common sense world how that's a good idea. It's just, if these lads get away with too much, there's a reason I keep calling them spoofers. It's because they're spoofers. I'd expect to be fired if I was in their position after this summer again. But, you know, when you know that their future isn't going to be at the club and they're going anyway, this is what we have. We have somebody leading a recruitment window who isn't going to be here at the end of it. That's absolute insanity. So, stats in the first half. Possession, 47% for Newcastle, 53% for Liverpool. Total shots, 6 for Newcastle, 1 on target, 1 goal. For us, it's 9 shots, 2 on target. I think the stat said 10 shots actually on the screen a minute ago. Total passes in it, 169 for Newcastle, 184 for Liverpool. Passing accuracy isn't good enough either. 76% for Newcastle, 79% for Liverpool. Tackles 6 to 11, fouls 7 to 11, offsides 1 for Liverpool, none for Newcastle, 4 corners for us, 2 for them. But the only stat that really matters here is the scoreboard, and that shows it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Kirkes has been awful, and it's so frustrating. Has he? I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm missing out on something, but I don't think he's been any more or less awful than Frimpong on the other side, who was cut inside, giving the ball away, being caught out of position and had to have Rio covering from on a few occasions. So I just think it's the sloppiness that's costing us, because the way Iraola sets his teams up and the way that we play is we get bodies forward, we commit to attacks. And if you turn over the possession in those attacks, well, it's not rocket science to figure out that you're going one way and the other team's suddenly going the other way, and you've got to turn around, get on your heels and get back. And you know, you can count over the amount of times we gave possession away in that first half. I can count at least 5 off the top of my head. But look, the easiest way I would say is there's nobody out there in a Liverpool shirt that I would say had a good first half. That's the fairest I can be about it, rather than trying to say X or Y. Wirtz wasn't good, Isak wasn't good, Kirkes wasn't good, Frimpong wasn't good, Rio wasn't particularly good, Gakpo has been pretty ineffective. Gravenberch in midfield had good and bad. Good getting out of tight spaces, bad distribution of the ball, and obviously not defensively aware enough. Centre-back wise, again, hard to be too critical of them because they were caught on the counter-attack where Liverpool just hadn't got bodies, and other than that, they've not given up too many chances. It's just, I don't know. Same old, same old. Tipsy Dipsy said, feel for Rio, shouldn't be starting in this game. I get it. I'm not going to go in on Rio either. Like, as I said, he's a 17-year-old, and this is where we're at. We have reliant now on a 17-year-old in attack. That's what your owners have given you. That's it. Like, I've nothing else to add. That's what your owners have given you. They've given us an attack that has Gakpo, who's probably going to Spurs, Isak, who we're still waiting to hit form, and Rio, who's 17. I keep saying it. I don't want 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids being thrown in to be saviours. I want them brought in gradually when they're ready. But, you know, I'm toxic negative and all I do is spout bollocks. So I'll just bite my tongue and see what happens. No, I won't be biting my tongue, actually. Who am I kidding? 195 Chrysler said, to think I was excited about the Premier League start, to be served this horseshit. Xhaka, only one who resembles a football player. I'd love to know what Iraola's saying in the changing room. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in there now, because you would imagine first and foremost he's going to want more aggression. He's going to want a higher level of intensity in the second half. He's going to want us to be better, quicker, faster, stronger, more decisive in our decision making, not so sloppy. Just simple things, because, and I don't mean to try and be disparaging towards Newcastle, they're not a particularly good team, right? So that just shows you where we're at then. If we're going to say Newcastle are okay, but you know, it's not the best Newcastle team we've ever faced, it just goes to show you how far off we are at the minute. And these are the things I struggle with, because in one sense, I almost expected a stuttering start to the season with a new coach and a new methodology, but I think in a weird way, there was almost more added pressure coming into this game because Newcastle, if you were to play any team in the Premier League, you would say Newcastle are probably the other team outside of us that you would say were underprepared for the season. So it almost felt like it was the ideal game for us, but you still have to go win it. And we aren't doing that so far. So now it just feels like the failure is even more exaggerated, if that makes sense. Blizzard said Newcastle are in the same boat. Not good enough. They aren't. You're right. And that's what makes this even more infuriating from a Liverpool perspective is, we're going to come up against better teams than this Newcastle team. And, if we can't get the better of these, we're in trouble. But we still have 45 minutes to turn this around. Rio really seems timid and out of place on the right, said LFC Chiesa. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I wouldn't mind him shifting to the left and Munoz coming on, but I get where you're coming from. But this again is this is where we're at as a club right now. You can only use the options as a coach that you have, and at the minute we just don't have many. Tiger Valley said, still optimistic, but we definitely need some work. Lucas Phillips, how are you, Lucas? Said, hi, Craig. Moving Rio to the right is a joke. Taking half his game away on the right. Is Wirtz really doing my head in so slow on the ball? What does my head in most about Wirtz is the sloppiness. Like whether it's letting the ball bounce off his knee or just not taking the touch in the right. It's just so many simple things that you just think, just focus on doing the easy things before we worry about the overly complicated things. Just get the basics right and protect the ball. Tipsy Dipsy said, unfortunately, FSG only want miracle workers. Yep. Well, see, they don't even want anything at the minute, and that's the problem. Like, we're kind of leaderless at the minute as a club. We've got 38% owned by the new investment group, and then FSG kind of not really interested at the minute. We've got a sporting director who's off, a football CEO who disappeared and has left. The whole thing is just a mess. This is where we're at, and nobody knows the direction the club's going in. Nobody knows what's next for us. Right, folks, we're about to get underway in the second half. Newcastle will be playing from left to right. Newcastle kicking us off. Referee's just doing his final checks. Hopefully Iraola's giving them a bit of a rocket in there at half time, and we're underway for the second half. Sebijan said, back with a lazy defending. Wake up, boys. It's not really the lazy defending that cost us to me in that first half. It's the attackers not being focused and giving the ball away and turning over possession. That's where their goal came from, was us giving the ball away. Gravenberch now slips one down the line to Gakpo. He tries an outside of the football, goes off the Newcastle player, and it'll be a corner for Liverpool. I've done that one already. Still no Gerrard, Hendo, Milner type leader at Liverpool, said Rain. Hey Craig, passing's been awful in my opinion. Wirtz especially too strong in the pass, slowing Newcastle's counter attacks and transition. Yes, agree. I agree entirely with what you've said about Wirtz there. Overhitting as well, a little bit too eager. Corner in from Dom. Flick to the back post. Oh, how do we not turn that inside? Then Wirtz makes a bollocks of the rebound as well. He's turned over possession. Newcastle are countering. Liverpool trying to get bodies back. Alanga. It's defended. Liverpool have a chance to bring it away. That was Wirtz again, taking heavy touches, edge of the box. Gives it away. Newcastle countered. Now Liverpool are back with the ball. It was very close to Liverpool getting an equaliser. There was a bit of a fumble at the back post, and Newcastle keeper then eventually comes and puts a hand on it. Wirtz now into Frimpong. Frimpong fires a cross in, doesn't get past the first defender, and it's headed away. How's the game been today? Not great. Sloppy is the word I'd use. New setup and graphics look class. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, my man. And thank you, Deloitte, as well. Both of you members, one for 16, one for 10 months. Appreciate you. Newcastle now on the counter with Visa. He slips it in. Newcastle player Sula's dragged a little bit wide, thankfully, which allows Liverpool to get bodies back. Ball fired in. It's hooked away by Virgil straight to a Newcastle player on the edge of the box. And their strike, thankfully, goes over Allison's crossbar for a Liverpool goal kick. Can't expect Isak to score when we can't get the ball to him. Rio non-existent on the right. Get him to the left wing. Sloppy from our central midfielders for the goal. I mean, looking at that one at the back post, Xhaka and Isak both had a pretty good chance to attack that and almost seemed to get in each other's way. Where's the pundit outrage at Isak being booed? It only exists for us. Don't be silly. Only exists for us. AMC said, genuine question. Why does buying 2 wingers solve in this team? Midfield wide open, fullback's liability. Wirtz still thinks he's in Germany. It gives us more pace, is one thing I would say. And it gives us more directness. And it gives us the ability to transition a bit quicker. It doesn't solve the hole in midfield. Absolutely it doesn't. That's why, again, I'm astonished that the reporting around our club hasn't been more frustration from the journalists about clear deficiencies in midfield that aren't being addressed. Our midfield is costing us the game. No control in possession, sloppy passes and first touches. Too long on the ball. Need to be quicker getting through balls instead of sloppy crosses, said Oliver. Thank you, Oliver. Nick said, feels like we should be running at pressuring their 2 young midfielders, Miley and Steer. Probably the most vulnerable portion of their team. Good shout. But yeah, we've started the second half brightly. Kirkes now, he takes too much out of the ball. Newcastle win it back. I've jinxed them. But I think we've started to get on the front foot a bit more here at the start of the second half. But again, Newcastle have shown on a few occasions that they can get back at us. If we give them the ball away, they have the pace to counter-attack us with the likes of Elanga. Gravenberch now, he goes out right side to Frimpong. To Rio. Again, he's been forced to turn back on himself. Soboslai. We need a better second half and hope you're well, said Nightmare to the AM. I'm good, my friend, I'm good. And totally agree with you about needing a better second half, bro. We put it out though and it'll be a Newcastle throw-in. Again, sloppy from Liverpool. We would have saved loads of money transforming Mo into a striker or in Wirtz position and bought a top winger. I don't see at the moment Wirtz and Isak replacing him. Also, where is our press? All very fair questions, Red Rose. And on the press, that's something that's jumped out to me so far in the game as well. It's been nowhere near as aggressive as I'd like it to be. But again, we just need to be better. Like, yeah, I know it's simplistic, but we just need to be better. And as somebody said as well, they've got 2 young, inexperienced players that we should be looking to get the better of there as well, and we aren't. I hope we're better in this half. Richard Hughes out, said Senator Decor. Thank you, mate. Medusa said, thought we'd be up shit creek today after our sales. Your midfield is wide open. Can't believe it. It's mad, isn't it, Medusa? Like, you're a Newcastle fan and you can see what we can all see. But yeah, and I'm going to keep calling them out because the esteemed journalists that cover our club just won't do their jobs. And this is what happens when you've got James Pearce touting the club line saying that Liverpool don't feel we need a number 6 in Iraola's system, as if he didn't play with one at Bournemouth. Like, you couldn't write some of the comedy that we get from journalists. Six minutes now into the second half, still Newcastle 1-0 up. I mean, even if you look to the bench, I mean, where do you really change this if you're Liverpool? Yes, you can bring on Victor Munoz, give us a different dimension, maybe an attack, but Maka, the only other real option there, maybe get Naoni into midfield, but again, you're relying then on a youngster to change the day. Gakpo, his ball towards Isak is over hip, but the referee said Gakpo was being dragged back, free kick Liverpool. I mean, that 250 million quid spent on Isak and Wirtz has to start getting repaid back this season. They just have to step up and show why Liverpool paid the money for them. There's Wirtz again. Looks sloppy, just messy touches. And eventually gets the ball out of his feet to Kirkes. Gakpo. He cuts inside. Gakpo tries a strike and it's over the bar. I mean, Rio was probably the ball there if he gets his head up. If you look at that from the right angle, you can see that Rio was an option for him if he gets his head up to just slip it in. But he only had eyes for goal. Xhaka steps up, his touch is heavy. Newcastle win the second ball, and Frimpong heads it out, and it's a throw into Newcastle on the far side. Come on, boys. Newcastle keeper plays it out left side to Botman. Again, he's 25 yards where he runs without a Liverpool player near him. Eventually, he passes it straight to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai then goes back to Alisson. To Virgil. Into Wirtz. Wirtz spins away from his man. Plays a nice ball through the lines then to Gakpo. Gakpo slips it out to Frimpong. Frimpong, lovely ball in, unlucky. He was looking for Isak, who'd pull back to the penalty spot, but Newcastle defender read it well. That was a bit better from Liverpool. Szoboszlai. Gravenberch. Gakpo. Great goal, Cody. 1-1. What a strike. Absolutely stunning from Cody Gakpo. 1-1. Cody Gakpo drills one in, and it's 1-1. You don't blame it on the sunshine. You don't blame it on the moonlight. You don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. 1-0 to 1-1. Cody Gakpo, it's a wonderful strike. Low, hard, rifled into the corner, about 22 yards out. Gets it out of his feet, takes a couple of touches, and it's a beautiful finish from Cody. A beautiful strike. Well done, sir. That's a delicious strike. Taking it away from the keeper, fading it into the corner. Great strike, Cody. Well in. Well in. What was that, Spurs? You want Cody? 140 million now. 140 million. Beautiful strike from Cody. Well done, sir. Newcastle making a double change here, by the way. Asula going off as well for them. Now, boys, let's turn it around and go find ourselves a winner here. So, double change for Newcastle. Sturridge and Asula off, Ramsey and Willock on. So, Ramsey and Willock on for Newcastle. Come on, boys. 1-1 now. 10 minutes into the second half. If you watch Inside Training, they're aggressive to each other and try harder than they are here. Go figure. Well, hopefully, Alistair, they wake up now. We've got ourselves back into the game. Now let's just wrestle control of it and show that we are the better team. Come on. Rio now. Come on, boys. Let's go. That was some strike, though, from Cody. If you haven't seen the goal, it really is well finished. Rio. Oh, his strike's blocked. Unlucky. Come on, boys. Newcastle feel like they're rocking at the minute, lads. It feels like Newcastle feel like they're rocking. Come on. Xhaka to Virgil. Across the Szoboszlai. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Out to Frimpong. Down the line for Wirtz, who slips into the right channel. Wirtz back to Rio. Isak. Gravenberch strike is blocked. It's back to Gravenberch again. He tries a little back heel to Isak. It's intercepted. Newcastle looking to counter quickly. Visa does well. Holds possession. Oh, we've given it back to them. 2-1. 2-1 Newcastle. Do you want me to tell you again how the goal came about, lads? The goal came about from a Gravenberch flick in the opposing half of the pitch that was intercepted by Newcastle, and then they countered quickly. We didn't defend. Again, dropping off. Where's the aggression that we'd seen in the defending all pre-season? Where is it? We're back to dropping off, and then what happens? We get bitten in the arse again. Same old. Defence not worth a shite. Watch this. We give it away here with Gravenberch, and then they counter. Now, Vissa does really, really well for Newcastle. Full credit to him. He does brilliantly. But after that, there's 5 lads around him. 5. 5 is. 5 is. 5 is. There's 5 of yous. 5. Oh. How do you defend like that? 5 of them. 5 of them. And by the way, Newcastle have scored twice, and both of their goals came from us giving the ball away in the final third. Both of them. Your fucking DM is up there trying to do little fancy flicks on the edge of the 18-yard box. Welcome to Liverpool 2026, where a defensive midfielder is up there throwing cry flicks on the edge of the opposition 18-yard box. You couldn't make it up, lads. You couldn't make it up. Newcastle were rocking, and we just give them back the initiative again. I mean, Vissa was brilliant for them in that attack, but outside of that, it's a piss take. Liz said, I want the Cody hat-trick, please. I just want us to stop being brain dead, Liz. This is just ridiculous. And where's the aggressive defending? All pre-season, they're stepping up and winning challenges. Stepping up and challenging them high up the pitch. Pre-season ends, Premier League season starts, and Virgil's back to running backwards. I mean, Jesus. It is honestly pathetic. How are we back to running backwards rather than going up and facing the man? Take a yellow, foul him, do anything for fuck's sake. Anything to stop the counter-attack other than back off. I don't know. I can't let this drop because it's so abundantly clear. Both goals came from Gravenberch losing the ball in attacking position, said James. Yeah. Your DM that apparently, we don't need one. Go figure. Both goals, both of them from Gravenberch giving the ball away. Now look, second goal, there was a lot of great work from Vissa in there from a Newcastle perspective. But my God, talk about shooting yourself in the foot after going back and getting yourself into the game. Our most defensive midfielder is doing a heel flick and turning the ball over. Can't sell Cody, by the way. Get Isak out. Frimpong built like a kindergartner. Colin said, I'm so tired of Van Dijk and his jockey. And it's bullshit, Colin, isn't it? Like, it's absolute bullshit. Like, as somebody who played football at a pretty decent level, anybody that watches the game, plays the game, that is a textbook situation to take a yellow card in. Like, just step up and stop the counter-attack. Take a yellow card for the team. Just do anything. The only thing they couldn't do was what they did do, which is keep backing off. I mean, it's so basic. Like, anybody out there that's played the game, even at Sunday League level, in that position where the team's countering it, and you've got five lads around the ball, not one of them steps up and stops the counter, takes a foul, blocks off the man, just stands in front of him, knocks him off the ball, take the yellow, give away the free kick. No, let's just go backwards and backwards. It's the Virgil way. Lewis said VVD knows you're allowed to put in a challenge. Yeah, it baffles me, dude, because we did the very opposite all pre-season. We talked about Virgil and Xhaka or whoever stepping up and winning the ball higher up the pitch. And then as soon as we revert back to type straight away, dropping off, and just basically inviting them to have a shot. It's mental. Here comes a double change now. Munoz coming on and McAllister coming on. Rio coming off. So Rio coming off 62 minutes. Frustrating afternoon for the young man on his less natural side. But let's see what Victor Munoz can do. There'll be better days ahead for young Rio. Come on, Victor. So it's Wirtz off, Rio off, Maka on, Munoz on. If I'm Florian Wirtz now, that should be that he should feel embarrassed right now as a £115 million player to be taken off 60 minutes into the first game of the season. That's where we're at. Wirtz should be embarrassed by that. Getting hooked already. Camera goes straight to Wirtz. He should be absolutely embarrassed by that. Playing in your favourite role and you still can't sort it out. It's just not good enough. Hopefully Maka and Munoz can make a difference. Kirkes. Gakpo. He's fouled. Free kick Liverpool. They were trying to get on with it quickly. Referee said ball was still moving and brings it back. Julio Cesar said, I know this is recency bias, but why didn't we look at Sangar at DM? He had a great season in France last year and he was fantastic yesterday. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday, mate. Yeah, he was brilliant yesterday. I was watching that game and he was very impressive. Brentford looked really sharp. Oof. Yellow there for a late challenge on Isak. Free kick to Liverpool. Iraola looking at notes, thinking, who the heck am I supposed to put in? Ridiculous. I know, Chad. I know. Dude, this is what drives me mad every season because I scream all summer for what I think we need. I get told to shut up, I'm too early, I'm toxic, I'm negative. And then I found out I'm right again because the deficiencies are there for all to see and it's too late to change it. It's the same every year, Chad. So frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating. Gaz, really, mate. I mean, we're losing all, Gaz, fair enough, but like, come on now. You've got nothing to be in asking silly leading questions like good game, mate. Not as good as the Hull one yesterday, Gaz. That was a great game, wasn't it? Really enjoyed that one myself now. I feel sorry for Iraola. Not going to get absolutely thrown under the bus by the owners. Yep. But at least we know that the owners will be called out by the journalists to cover our club, right? As they always do, because they're great at that. You know, they always have the fans' best interests at heart, the journalists to cover Liverpool. They're not at all spineless, cowardly little twats. They definitely have the club and the fans' best interests at heart. Go, boys. Gakpo now. Oh, unlucky, Cody. Fuck. Gakpo was on the counter. He tried to check back inside. He was on his own, but he was eventually crowded out, but unlucky from Cody. This game shows how bad a CDM is needed. It does. But, you know, according to the great journalists, the system, the club's relaxed. The club's relaxed about it. Because Iraola's system doesn't need a DM. Doesn't matter that he played with one at Bournemouth in the same system. We're not allowed to use facts when we're talking about the club's narrative. We can only push what the club want. Oh, hang on a minute. No, you are allowed to push back, apparently. 66 on the clock. I mean, the funny part of this, we do well. We get ourselves back into the game. Cody gets a great goal. And then brain dead defending and we're 2-1 down within 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You couldn't make it up. Like, it's comical. Oh, nearly 3-1. Oh, my days. Newcastle flash a ball across the front of the 6-yard box. I don't know how Vista didn't get on the end of it, but Newcastle is still in possession, but that could have easily been 3-1 and game over. Ooh. Strike there from Alanga, bounces just in front of Allison, but he manages to keep two hands on it. Cheers, Jack. Appreciate you. I mean, genuinely though, anybody got an answer for me on how you can write that the club believe we don't need a DM? That Iraola system with a double pivot doesn't need a DM? Like, genuinely. That's what we get told as Liverpool fans. The club want to push out a narrative about why they haven't spent money on a DM. The real answer is because they didn't sell McAllister. But the answer that they push out, that all these clowns write about, is just, oh, well, we don't need a DM. Oh, Isak, ball pulled back to him out of the box. He slices it and knocks it over the bar. It drives me demented. Like, you're writing about football, covering it for The Athletic. The club say to you, we don't think we need a DM because of the system. So you're perfectly within your rights as a journalist to write that part. But you've got to follow that up with, but we think they're very, very wrong. It's clear the club needs a DM. That's what you would expect anyone that is actually a journalist to do. To look at it and go, the club can say what they want, we'll talk about that, but then we'll give an opinion. But they don't. They just parrot the club's opinion, which is why they get their access, which is why they get their little extras. And it's why people are fucking sick of them. Because these clowns, these spineless cowards, are exactly why the owners get away with it. And I'm sick of it. And I'm never going to stop calling them out. And I'm never going to stop wanting better, because we deserve better than a bunch of spineless cowards that won't write about the club's deficiencies because they're too scared. Then get a better job, lads. Fuck off and do something else for a living. Araujo on now for Xhaka, and this is obviously a fitness thing. Xhaka still getting up to speed, so I understand that change from Iraola. That would have probably been a preordained one. Zidane said that without Guimaraes, Trippier, Tonali, losing Dan Burn and Joelinton to injuries, and what was this? And a new manager and Silver struggling. You also forget to throw in there as well, Anthony Gordon left. There's another one. So yes, it's it's embarrassing. Free kick here to Liverpool, 20 minutes to go. Come on, boys. Gravenberch. Frimpong. Allison out to Virgil. Back across to Araujo. Araujo pings one out left side. But it's overhit and it goes out for a throw-in. The irony in all of this is, you would probably, I don't know if you'd agree with me with this statement, but I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to say this. The irony for me here is that our best attacking player today is the one that's going to be sold next week. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to say Gakpo's been our best attacker today. I think he's been head and shoulders above everybody else. And he's the one that's going to be sold to Spurs next week. I don't know what else to say, lads. Oh, Kirkes, fuck's sake. So we work a position, the ref plays an advantage, the ball slipped into the left side to Kirkes, and he just overhits it. There's no other word for it. He just overhits the cross. I mean, ref plays a good advantage. Gakpo then slips it in. There's just so much more of a margin. You need to fade the ball back, mate. Munoz, Gravenberch, slips it inside the Soboslai. Again, ball turned over. Soboslai takes a heavy touch. Newcastle defender clears it. Araujo. Soboslai, McAllister, Virgil. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're leaving Allison short there as well. He used to come out and play sweeper keeper. Frimpong. Out to Victor Munoz. Frimpong. Gravenberch. Again back out to Munoz. Oh, Victor cuts inside, tries a little slipped in ball down the right side, overhits it, and it goes out for Newcastle goal kick. So, lads, how are we feeling with 15 to go? How are we feeling out there? It's it's been another frustrating one, hasn't it? Especially when you got yourself back into the game with a great goal from Cody, and then straight away let them back into it. Vissa wins them another free kick there. Ref judges Dom to have clipped them. Free kick Newcastle. Stephen says raging, not great, so sad. I think it's a load of balls, said Swizzy. Not feeling good with first 15 left. Yep, same old problem. I mean, I agree with all of you. Yeah, I agree with all of your frustrations. You know, it's hard to push back on any of them. Frustrated, what a joke we've become. Again, I totally get it, folks. You're damn right to be frustrated. Another long season if we continue without a 6. Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know how many years we all have to have the same conversations, but it gets a bit tiring, doesn't it, as fans, when you're all summer saying what you need, what you need, what you need, what you need. You're told then we don't need it. The same problems are still there. And then, you know what will happen, right? We all know what will happen. The window will close. The false promises will get made again about, next summer everything will be different. Everything will be great. Liverpool will get in everyone that they need. Expect Liverpool to be busy. All the usual bollocks. And then it'll be rinse and repeat until FSG are gone. Look at the players we let go in the summer. Robertson and Salah, leaders. That's gone from the squad. It's becoming big time lack of leadership. Again, I said that all summer as well, Seamus. I don't disagree, bro. You can't let Kanade leave for free, Salah leave for free, Robbo leave for free, not replace that experience. You just can't do it. It's tin pot. Whatever about promising young players, you have to have the balance and the leadership in there. So who's stepping into the leadership role? Gomez and Szoboszlai. I mean, respectfully, Gomez never going to be near the pitch. Frimpong. Flick to Munoz. Ball comes off a couple of Newcastle players and then gets hooked away for a Liverpool throw-in. The Irish Wanderer said, this is very poor. I don't see where the goals will come from. We leave nothing on the bench. It's very concerning. Any improvement on last season. I mean, we don't even look as good as we did at parts of pre-season. To be honest with you, mate. That's the really frustrating part. But for Virgil and the lads to drop off again like they did for the second Newcastle goal and not step up, it's pathetic. Lewis Kumas now coming on for Gravenberch as Iraola obviously rolling the dice a little bit. So we take off a midfielder and bring on another attacking player. Throw in from McAllister. Ball's flicked on, but Newcastle first one's to it again. Macca then steps in for the second ball. He's fouled. Referee says free kick Liverpool. Are there any changes you'd make that you think would turn things around for us in this half? This is shocking. Not really, because anybody you think would have been worth having a look at is pretty much on the pitch. So you'd want Munoz on there. He's been brought on. You'd have wanted Macca on. He's been brought on. And outside of that, you're back to looking at young players. So he's taken off Gravenberch and he's brought on Kumas. No, there's not really anything I would say I would have done overly differently. It's just, it's on the players, this, again. The thing I can't get my head past, though, excuse me, I can't get past that defending. Like 5 players around the Newcastle player with the ball, and not one of them thinks, I'll step up and block him off here and take a yellow card. They get back to doing what they did before, which is backing off, and then they scored from it. It was like watching Slot's team last year defend all over again. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Right, so Szoboszlai over the free kick. It's another one that he fires straight into the fucking wall. That's 2 he's had from distance, and both of them haven't even gotten past the wall. And then ref gives a free out. It's just messy. Lightmaster said, Craig, I don't get this. How do we become a selling club yet other clubs are able to spend 100 million this window? I mean, I'm not happy with our business. I'm not happy with what we've done, but we've hardly had a big sale this summer. If we're being honest about that, we've sold Jones. That's pretty much it. It's more a case, I think, mate, that we let so many players' contracts run down and them to leave that the cheap fucks won't replace them. And again, this is what I keep saying. You can let players' contracts run down and let them walk out the door on a free, but you can't not replace them. And that's what we haven't done. So it's just a case of we're being run by cheapskates, and I'm fed up of saying it every single year. They just don't want to go outside the way that they operate, and it's going to cost us. And it has cost us, and it is costing us. Between that, a sporting director that's no good at his job, a CEO of football that's fucked off and isn't here anymore, owners that are 1 foot in, 1 foot out, the club's leaderless, rudderless, and we're a lack of seniority out there on the pitch. These are pretty evident things. How are we not beating this Newcastle team? Brutal. I think you've summed it up, bro. Exactly what you've said. Brutal. That's what we've been. We spent 400 million last year. Yeah, we'll just ignore the 220, 230 million we brought back in, though. That doesn't happen. We'll just ignore that. Look, we've gone through this before. We had one summer where the fuckers did the bare minimum, and every other summer has been 40, 50 million net. Last summer was the one summer. That's it. But again, we were still outspent net by Arsenal. You can defend it however you want. There is no defending it. They're cheap. And I'm sorry, they are. How else could you explain this squad having so many holes in it? Salah walked out the door, Robbo walked out the door, Canade walked out the door, Trent walked out the door, and the cheap fucks won't replace them. Happy to get the wages off the books, happy to save all that money. So you have to call it out. You can't expect a manager to overachieve all the time. At some point, you have to run the club like a club that wants to win, like a club that is one of the biggest in the world. Every other club seems to be able to do it, that is up there at the top echelons of football. But, again, it comes down to our little journalistic friends letting them off the hook over and over again, setting the narratives and calling out anybody who dares say anything that is against that narrative as toxic and negative. This is all really obvious stuff. Russian Honey Badger, how are you, bro? Said 2 goal, definitely needed Araujo. That's where his aggression would come in. Handy and Ronald would tackle and committed a foul. Look, it's basic defending that. Anybody who's played the game at any level will say when they're counter-attacking you, 5 lads around the ball, step up and make the challenge. Even if you foul them, take the yellow. Because you give away a free kick, you can reset and defend it. But setting and backing off and jockeying, see how it ends up? It ends up with the ball in the back of the net. Chill, boys. Newcastle have just been lucky. No, Nicholas, we've just been terrible. This is a poor Newcastle team. We should be swatting them away. And I'm not speaking out of turn to say that. Newcastle fans will tell you this isn't a great Newcastle team. Players are fault, nobody else. Well, the players are partly responsible, 100%, but the fact that there aren't more of them is on the owners. Virgil, Maka, back to Virgil. 6 minutes to go. Araujo, Soboslai, Frimpong, stands one up. Isak heads it back to the keeper, basically. It was basically a defensive header. He gets up, he's too hot, it's too high above him and he just floats it into the keeper's hands, basically. Five and a bit minutes to go. Again, another overhit pass this time. Trying to spread it out to the left, it's overhit and it's a throw into Newcastle. Andrew, how are you, sir? Said, hey Craig, hope you're well. Our club has become a laughing stock. We had a chance to build a dynasty, but our owners can't be arsed to spend to get Barcola this week. Yep, Everton's always left for the last minute as well. Rush job, Andrew, to try and save a few quid. They're just like, I don't know what to say. They're in again behind here, Newcastle. Alisson saves us again. That should have been 3-1 Newcastle, but Alisson makes the one-on-one save. Defendant pants, and thankfully Alisson bails us out. Munoz now. His shot is blocked. Second ball. Come on, Victor. Ball pulled back to Kumas. McAllister. Frimpong. Soboslai to Virgil. Gakpo. He puts in a cross deep. Oh, jeez, Munoz then just barges into the back of the player right in front of the ref. Yeah, which it gets called and free kick. It's just silly, silly, silly. We're running out of time, lads. 86 minutes, 30 seconds pretty much on the clock. Araujo heads it into Maka. Virgil, Kirkes, Gakpo. His touch is heavy, but we get lucky and it breaks to Kumas. Kumas fires one over the top looking for Kirkes, but there's too much on it and it goes behind for a Newcastle goal kick. Russ said last time we lost first game of the season, Hodgson was in charge. Yeah, I think it's like, is it 14 or 15? I think this is the 15th, I think. Where do our goals come from when Cody leaves? Yeah, it's a good question. That's why we badly need Barcola and others, mate. James said, where's the intensity we were told was going to be getting? Nobody knows how to service Isak at all. Banging balls. What's this? Begging for balls and runs. We need wingers. But we know we need wingers. That's the madness of it all, bro. Is we've been screaming all summer, where are the bleeding wingers? But you know, the lads have to make out like they're the cleverest boys in the room to save 5 or 10 million quid. So it doesn't matter if the manager doesn't get time to work with them, and it has a knock-on impact on the start of the season. There's Dom giving the ball away now with loose passes. Just well done, Dom. Oh, lads. Barnes. Oh, another one fired across the front of the 6-yard box by Newcastle that, thankfully for us, nobody got on the end of. My God. Craig, is Grav good enough to stay in this team? Not as a 6. Absolutely not. And look, both the goals today, Natty, came from him turning over possession in one way or another in the Newcastle half. And that's a particular bugbear for me because it happened so much in pre-season and I called it out over and over again. Not him in particular, but us turning over the ball. We're in the final minute of normal time now, folks. Gakpo. Lads, our players are actually blocking each other out of the way now. Newcastle are counter-attacking because we brilliantly managed to block our own players from attacking the ball. Well done, boys. It's a next level defending, this is. Now it's a Newcastle throw-in down by the corner flag deep inside our half as the clock is not our friend. We need midfielders who don't turn the ball over so much. Yes, we do. Who's he booking now? Have you seen one positive thing about the game? Not really, no. Apart from Gakpo's looked all right. And the irony is, as I said, he's probably going to be sold. 5 minutes added on by the ref. Newcastle throw in deep inside the Liverpool half. Virgil gets a yellow card as well. Could have got that yellow card for stopping the counter attack, Virgil, couldn't you? Kumas now on the attack. Come on. Of course my TV freezes. My TV freezes just as he's on the counter, but the ball ends up behind anyway for Newcastle goal kick. Or is it a corner? I don't know because I didn't see the attack. It's a corner. I fear for our identity of this team. No DM, wingers, no party. Again, I don't disagree. And Declan, you're right as well, mate. Look, the manager will get it right, but he needs the players. Soboslai with the corner in. Keeper comes and gets 2 hands on it. It's out to Frimpong now. Frimpong, for some reason, tries a shot on his left foot from 25 yards. I mean, Kirkes now. 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Kirkes, Soboslai, Gakpo. Jesus Christ. Gakpo just runs down a blind alley and eventually gives away a free kick. So it's a free kick to Newcastle. We've nearly had 3 of the 5 minutes. They go long and straight the way through to Allison. It's now with Araujo. Araujo again. Out to Frimpong. Back to Araujo. Soboslai. Kirkes. Gakpo. Fires one in, headed away by Newcastle. I think Iraola might make big decision about Wirtz. Well, he won't be selling him at this rate. It's too late in the window anyway. So that wouldn't be even a consideration. But, I mean, he'd be perfectly within his rights to look for a solution. Oh, now Frimpong in possession. In possession, Jeremy's found a way to give away a free kick. You fuck me. Lads, just stop. Stop trying to convince us that these lads are good enough, will you? Frimpong's pants. Van Dijk, as Gio said, not good enough anymore. Just none of it has been. It's just shocking. It's just shite. The club's a mess. Visa coming off now for Newcastle. Clock's against us. Newcastle have a free kick inside their own half. And we're getting what we deserve. We're getting what we deserve today, which is nothing. They should be embarrassed yet again. They know how to talk, don't they? Especially our captain. They know how to talk a big game about the fight, the determination, wanting to win the league. All the usual garbage that they say every year. But they won't back it up with a performance. We've now had the 5. It's at the discretion of the referee. Kirkes just boots along, hopeful ball up front where Virgil's now playing centre forward. That's a penalty, ref. That's a penalty, you fucking pussy. Peno. Liverpool right at the death. Peno. Munoz brought down. Referee, he took his time and eventually pointed to the spot. Hall says he doesn't touch him. You do touch him, Lewis, you lying little fuck. Your left knee goes into his leg. You moved your knee into his knee, Hall, saying I didn't touch him, you absolute spoofer. Look at the left knee. Comes across straight into him. I didn't touch him. I mean, the Newcastle lad's jumping up off the... He moves his left knee into him. You can see it. Pens awarded anyway. Who's taking it, though? At the moment, it's Gakpo guarding the penalty spot. Who's going to take it, though? Gakpo's protecting the ball at the minute. The ref needs to grow up here and start taking control of this situation and getting people out of the 18-yard box, or get that yellow card out. Ref, do your job. Szoboszlai going to take the penalty. It's Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's got the ball. Right at the death to potentially steal a point. It's Dominic Szoboszlai right at the death. Takes a deep breath. Short run up. Here we go. Dom steps up. Scores. Top corner. 2-2. I thought the keeper went right side, but it was very well hit by Dom, and it's straight into the top corner, and it's Liverpool 2, Newcastle 2. Szoboszlai with a very well taken penalty, which bails us out and gets us a point. But don't let this cover up the deficiencies that we've seen today. We've gotten away with one to get a point at the end. Well taken penalty by Dom. Keeper went the right way, but he lifted it into the roof of the net. And it's 2-2. Have a look at this again. I mean, it's a great penalty, let's say that. Keeper goes the right way, does his best, but it's a damn good penalty from Dom. It's got the height, it's got the direction, it's got everything needed. Well taken, Dom. 2-2. And we'd get away with a point. Still not good enough, though. The performance hasn't been good enough. And that is that. Final action of the game. The referee puts the whistle to his lips and it finishes at St James's Park. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Lewis Hall giving away a penalty for colliding into Victor Munoz in the final minute of stoppage time, which gave Liverpool the opportunity to level it from the spot. Dominic Szoboszlai steps up, shows great composure, buries a good penalty. But the performance was nowhere near good enough. To get away with a point there is getting away with it. We were terrible today, and we have to learn from this, and the board can't hide anymore. It's clear what we need. The manager needs a DM. We need more attackers. Get your finger out and get them in. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys for the match reaction. This will redirect you straight there. I'll be back in about 60 seconds for it. Remember, for the match reaction, I'm going to be ignoring the chat for the first few minutes as I just give you my take on the game, and then we'll get stuck into it and get your thoughts as well. We'll see you back here in 60 seconds. Until then, thank you for joining. It finishes at St James's Park, Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2.